Yo, what's good, YouTube? Man, I know the things are supposed to start at 11:30, but we're gonna start at just 15 minutes early. That's all. As y'all can see what the topic say, it says Black History Month. As Yogi was to say, Yogi say he's black every day. I'm blacker than black, black, blacker than black every day. So yeah, man, we're
Hold
about to
on,
get into
hold on. I think,
huh?
hold on, Mike. There you go.
There you go. Okay. As
My
Yogi
bad.
would
I
say.
forgot the damn live was still on.
That's all good, man. But as Yogi would say, man, he say he black every day, which is right. We all black every day, man. But man, I want to get into this topic, man. Yesterday was the first day of Black History Month. February the first starts off Black History Month. I was reading up on a little couple of things, man. I seen, and one of the things I wanted to talk about. Well, there's a couple things that I want to talk about. Well, one of the things I wanted to talk about, they saying they about to take away Black History Month. What you got to say about that, Yogi? That's crazy, huh?
Hey, man. First off, what up, everybody? What's up, everybody? What's going on? Y'all already know. Hey, man, I swear I ain't know, and I ain't gonna even lie to y'all. I ain't even know it was Black History Month until Maggie told me some shit about some damn Black History Month. Wasn't even thinking about it. Wasn't on my mind. But now we here. You know what I'm saying? They taking away Black History Month. Shoot, I don't know. Like, well, we supposed to be mad or happy?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. Like
I,
I said, like it's why we the only one got a certain month. Asians don't got no certain month. Uh, Hispanics don't. Well, Hispanics do got a certain month. Uh,
but hold on, Mac. I don't mean to cut you off, but we ain't worrying about them folks. We gonna talk about the white and black. Why? Tell me why it ain't no Caucasian Day month,
exactly,
a Caucasian History Month.
exactly.
Like,
I feel you on that.
like I thought we celebrate America as a whole.
That's what it's supposed to be like, but seem
So
like it
that's
ain't.
uh
That's what it's supposed to be like, but I seem like it ain't.
it's like it's a separate. It's somewhere they trying to tell us it's a separation somewhere. You feel me? And I ain't got nobody that I know that I grew up with from my mama's side, my great grandmama, all of them from a daddy's side. I haven't. They didn't never talked about we going to Africa to go meet Juju over there. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm gonna go take you to go meet your distant cousin Juju. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're right about that.
My
I
mama done
haven't
took me to
heard of it.
Mississippi. She took me to Mississippi to go meet my granddaddy,
Yeah,
her daddy.
yeah,
You get what I'm
yeah,
saying?
man. Yeah, yeah.
I bet an Asian person could tell you they gonna go to their country and go see their people. But yet we got a flag day or history for them too. We got a month for all these motherfuckers.
Yeah,
But
you're right about that.
but it ain't no Caucasian history month though.
Nah, it ain't. It ain't. It ain't. It really ain't, man.
So
If you sit
we
back,
might have not needed to be in this quota anyway. Our history is every day we wake up. Everything your child see every day when that child see you growing up, that's that child history. That's Black history for them.
yeah. Matter of fact, every day is a new day. You might learn something new every day.
For real.
Depends on what are you doing in that situation. It just depends.
That's what getting me. Like I understand. I don't understand it because I can't understand it because I'm trying to figure out like why do we got a month? I mean a month for our history when we could just tell this shit every day.
Yeah,
You look at the
you
news.
can tell it every day. You can look at the news every day.
Yeah.
Most of the time on the news, you got blacks killing blacks. You got a black that it's just blacks killing blacks. You never seen a white person killing a white person unless they was drunk, angry, or doing something. But on a daily basis, if you look at the news, it's blacks killing blacks ninety
And
percent of the time.
I thought history means something that was in the past. Anyway,
Exactly, not the present, in the
not
past.
what. Yeah, it takes 24 hours for a day to end, but we hear about the news 30 minutes in a day.
Huh. Tell me about it. Come on now. Tell
So
me about
history,
it.
history of motherfucker, ain't it?
Yeah, it is, man. It is. It really is. You know.
But I want the chat to tell us when is Caucasian month history. Because I'm not an African. So I don't have African history. I don't have none of that. We're gonna talk
And
about
another thing. And
yeah.
another thing. If you ever been to the penitentiary, and for some of us, we can speak about it.
Uh
All the Africans inside of the penitentiary would tell you what that you are
they
not an African American,
you're not
right?
yeah, not that.
Yeah, not an African American. So
You a Yankee.
why exactly? That's exactly what they call you. And I'd be like, man, so why do we have to wear this label as an African American? You know what I'm saying? If
Real
if we
talk.
was to go to their country, just say if we go to their country, we wind up having to move over there. I think them
You gonna
people
be
would try to do
American.
us exactly. I think they would try to do us the same way like how if we was to leave and go to Mexico, or if a Mexican would leave and go to Mexico,
Same,
they
not
would
now
kidnap
different.
us.
Now different. They ain't gonna treat you. They gonna treat you just like a immigrant there in their country.
Exactly. They're gonna treat you just like an immigrant.
So
Like why
why
is he
do we
down here?
have a Black History Month in America, where we from, where our history from? Why there in the same country that we in? Why do Caucasian Americans don't have a Caucasian um history month?
Mm. Oh, that's
And,
crazy.
they call themselves Caucasian Americans. They call themselves what? White Americans, whatever they call
White
themselves.
Americans.
But
White Americans.
and we call ourselves Black Americans. So how do we got separate histories?
You
Or
got a
they
point
history
there.
keep going every day, and ours will just be a month.
You got a point there. You got a point there.
But I thought we
Hey,
was all Americans. I'm talking about
I
Americans, white
I
and
thought
black.
I thought at the end of the day they say we all is one.
That's see what I'm saying. So why the hell do we got a Black History Month in our own country? You think Mexico got a goddamn Mexico history over there in a month in they goddamn country?
No, they don't. They don't. They really
They
don't.
celebrate whatever holiday like y'all do holidays here, Christmas, whatever. All they celebrate it together. So,
They do. They
so
got
why do we
they
got a
got
month?
they got one holiday, and that's what they call it. It's not Cinco de Mayo Day. That's only for America. It's called
Mm-hmm.
something else. I guess once they daughters, kids hit a
On
certain teen,
a, a month. I forgot how I said.
but you know what I'm talking about though, right?
Yeah,
And then they do that. They do that at one celebration, and that's the only celebration that they like. They really big on out there. That's the only
you get what I'm saying?
celebration.
Now,
Yep.
but we like you just said a real thing. Like they got a consent. No, I was just finna say the word. I was just finna say it. Um, but the other thing you said, what the Spanish day is here?
Cinco de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo, right?
Yep.
They got a Cinco de Mayo for a reason. You get what I'm saying? That's
Right.
something they celebrating their culture. Like we they intertwine their culture with our history, our life, our America. You feel me?
Right.
White people go celebrate that. It ain't no really no race thing. It's just a culture thing. Why do we got a goddamn Black History Month in our own country in America?
That's a good. That's a good answer. That's a good answer. That's a real good answer, man. I can't put no finger on it. I can't do it. But I know back in the day when we was growing up as kids,
Mm-hmm.
the first, the 28th, I mean the 31st of January, we'll be decorating the classrooms, and you see nothing but Black history going down the whole hallway and all that. You know what I'm saying? So,
Like it's a slap in the face.
yeah, like it's a slap in the face. So you know what I'm saying. So as you walking down the hallways, you might have one of these little racist white kids might snatch Martin Luther King off the wall and all. You know, in the school it's black versus white now. You know what I'm saying?
But look, like I had me and my wife had the discussion yesterday. All right, why back in the day, as far as the history, they telling us that it was only a like like it was a place like where the blacks could go and the whites could go. Nothing else. It ain't say nothing about no Indians. It ain't say nothing. like so these people couldn't been back there in this history when they started writing these on white faucet and a black faucet. White, you tell me so Spanish kids ain't wanted water at the park
Yeah,
if they was here.
but they never spoke up on them.
No,
You
no,
never
Kamaki, they
heard it.
wasn't here back in that history. It was
Yeah,
only
cause you
black
never
and
heard
white.
about them.
That means
It was only
that was
black and white.
American history, right?
Right.
Why we got Black History Month? Why is everybody talking about some damn Black History Month?
Man, shout out to everybody inside the chat, man. Shout out to everybody, man. Y'all know, man, we sitting here talking about Black History Month, man. You know, I'm gonna try to go live mostly, sometimes every day. I need to do this, y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to do this, but we're sitting here discussing the Black History Month. You know, shout out to everybody inside the chat. Shout out to Henny. Shout out to Rimrock. Shout out to Wine, man. Shout out to everybody inside the chat, man. You know, if you come through and you support the channel, man, make sure y'all go over there and support Yogi, man, over there with Yogi and Courtney, man. But yeah, we're sitting here discussing about this Black History Month. You know, as growing up as kids, like I was just saying, when you get into the classroom, you see everything by Black History Month all the way into February, the end of February. Yeah,
But
all the way.
when as American, as we call ourselves Black Americans, white Americans call themselves white Americans. Tell me when there is a Caucasian History Month. I'm y'all know I got a GED, so my shit the battery be low and shit. So I might have forgot. So I might need somebody to tell me in the chat when is this Caucasian History Month.
It ain't. It ain't.
Uh,
They can't tell you. It's not. It's not one.
I sworn we was all Americans. I sworn it was white Americans and Black Americans.
Yeah.
So we should be celebrating America together, like as in 4th of July,
And
Independence Day.
Independence Day.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's when we celebrate as us as our nation and to be Americans. So why
Yeah.
do we got a Black History Month and they ain't got no damn month?
Yeah, man. Yeah, you're right. You're right, man. You know. So,
Because I know mostly everybody in here, we all over 25. We don't we give history. We
right.
live history every goddamn day, just like white people didn't take nothing away from them. They live history as American every day. That's why they ain't got a month. So why we
Yeah.
need a month? We don't need no goddamn month. We can tell this story to our kids every day.
Every day, but
The story
as
could change
as
every day
but as you can see, we are the only race
in America.
that no matter where you go, we are the only race besides Africa. You know, Africa they stick together because they ain't got no damn choice but to stick together out there. But as the only race here in America, we always depart from each other. We just had this conversation while we was on the game, right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
We always depart from each other. Always. We sit here, we talk about each other, we cuss each other out, call each other bitches and hoes, and you don't see the white people doing that. You,
Real.
the Mexicans can have 2 bedrooms and have 40 people in that motherfucker. 40. 40 people. You got one black person that can have a mansion and have 50 rooms inside that mansion. I bet it only be him and his wife inside that mansion. Would you think he'll
Yep.
go out there and go pick up somebody to bring him inside their household or anything like that?
Now you're gonna talk about the nigga who don't got
He gonna talk about him. You know what I'm saying?
it. You gonna talk
That
about
he he gonna talk about him so bad till he blue in the fucking face.
real.
See,
But
that's the thing right there about us black people. We always downfalling one another.
but
Always.
I could understand it if we all sitting around accepting it's a Black History Month in America.
We accept it. You know what I'm saying? You
But
know
this is what I'm saying though. This that means you separate yourself from America.
yeah, for 1 month, for
No,
30
you
days.
separate your but yet a Mexican they'll separate themselves from America. If America burning up right now, them Mexicans can go back to Mexico.
Yeah, they can go
The
back
Chinese
home.
can go back to China. Them Europeans, the Caucasians, they can go back to Europe. Where the hell you going, nigga?
Shit, right
You
here.
gonna burn with this
Yeah. We can't go to Africa. We, we,
so
we,
why?
we, we
Because we
can't go
not
to
African.
Africa.
So
right?
tell me how we got a month in our own country. Why we ain't selling? Why we ain't loving ourselves as black people every day, just like everybody else? A
Yeah.
Mexican is in y'all. Every other culture is in our country, proudly to put up their flag and put it in their window, their car, they ride around with it. What we proud of? A one damn month in our own country.
Yeah, man. You're right. You're right, man. So
It's
and then he
crazy.
put up something. He said people do cold calls. They did not know it's Black History Month.
Eh,
Okay.
I ain't bullshitting y'all. Mackie told me this shit yesterday. I thought every day was black. I didn't never know we just changed somewhere. Oh, we turned American on the 20. Oh, we turned Americans on the first of next month.
Right, right.
Oh hell no! Then we stand for we don't stand for
But
something, boy.
then
We
you know
stand
what's so
for
crazy about
everything.
it though? You know what's so crazy about it though? Cause I was sitting here just thinking all day today, and I was just thinking, just thinking, just thinking. I said, man, why do they start us off on the first? Because we get Social Security on the first. Because we get disability on the first. We get SSI on the first.
No
You
nigga
know
go
what I'm saying? Like
barbecue.
why?
They
Most
can go
niggas
buy
gonna
an
barbecue
outfit.
on the first day. You know what I'm saying? Go buy an
Yeah.
outfit. Rent is due on the first day on the first of the month. You know, like why would they start us off on the first? Like why we couldn't be started off on the second? You know what
And
I'm
why did we start
saying?
anyway? Why is it not a Caucasian month history month or whatever you call this shit?
It
If
ain't
we
one.
all Americans,
It ain't one.
and why they don't got one though? They
Hey,
don't
you
even got
know,
they don't even got a European. They ain't got a European history month in America. You don't see
so you
Europeans
know,
like flagging their flag on some particular day or month. You don't see Jewish people out here flagging their flag or talking about it's their month in America. You don't see nothing, but you see Mexicans, Haitians, Jamaicans, everybody else. And you telling me we gonna sit and say we gonna distance ourselves from our nation, our country, because they want to give us a month when we do this shit every day, but they ain't got
yeah,
a month.
yeah.
Why it ain't the history? Why ain't it the history of the Ku Klux Klan? Like a month, just telling their history. Why it ain't the history for the month? Why Christopher Columbus only got a day when he can have a whole month to tell his story he told?
But how he sailed across the sea.
You see what I'm saying? Oh, they gonna keep they gonna keep their history going every day, but we gonna just accept to have a history month
Birthdays.
in our own damn country. They should take that shit away. So some of the black folks could start loving ourselves.
Yeah, see that, and that's another thing I was gonna bring up. Why we can't love one another like how the Mexicans do, how the Hicks, how
Cause we
you know
confused.
Hispanics got three type of different races. You know what I'm saying? Especially out here in Texas, it's a bunch of different type of races how they call themselves. See, out here in Texas, they don't call themselves Mexicans. They call themselves Houstonians. If you were to
Shit.
walk up to a Mexican today in Houston, Texas, Austin, Texas, Dallas, Texas, and call them a Mexican, they be ready to fight you. Man, I ain't no fucking Mexican. I'm a Houstonian. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'll be like, damn, these people.
No,
that's just like if you was to call a black person the N word. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to say it because this is a family channel. But if you was to call a black person the N word, we'd be ready to fight somebody right or wrong.
yeah. Maybe because now when it seems like though when you educate yourself and you find out what the word means, you kind of can let it go. You know what I'm
Yeah, you
saying?
let it go. Yeah,
Because
you
it
let it
mean an
go.
ignorant
But
person. So if the
yeah,
person
but that's
if
the
you explain that
definition.
definition to the person that's saying it to you, you will let them know that no, really you like how that stuff say when they what they say I'm like uh, rubber and glue or whatever the hell you used to say back in the day. It bounce off me back
Yeah,
on you.
yeah,
Because if when somebody come at me with the N word and they mean it in the way they mean it,
yeah.
I'm asking them, what I got a mirror on my forehead?
Right.
Because you got to be looking at yourself because the word mean an ignorant person. You got to be an ignorant person just to jump out the woodworks and call me an N word.
And Tennessee, Michelle, you are right. It have been a cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like every year, it's like it's starting to repeat itself. Like back in the day, people used to wear afros. So as I'm growing up in my younger days, we used to wear afros and braids, right? You know what I'm saying? So now that the generation is changing, it's like, wow, like, are y'all really doing this now? Like we did that way back when. Like it's like a repeating cycle. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. You know, because your mama used to always tell you, man, we did that already. And now that we are getting older and our younger generation is doing the same thing that we was doing, like damn, shit, it's like 3 years in a hole now. Damn, they repeat they repeating what we did back in the day. But man,
But
I know one of my
but by
kids
you
has
telling
lost.
your, but like you said, like your mama used to tell you, she used to tell you history. Like you used to tell, like you tell your kids, you tell them history. Just like a Caucasian tell their kids stuff in America. I'm talking about Americans. I'm not. This is what I'm trying to do is not separate a black and white situation. I'm not gonna do it like that. I'm making it as an American thing. If we supposed to be Americans, if we Americans, before anything else, color, no color. If we Americans, we born in America, we got a birth, whatever. We born in America. As our grandparents, our great grandparents, our history, everybody was born in America. Just like a Caucasian to stand on. Why do we got a month? And
I don't know,
Caucasian,
bro.
it's not a Caucasian month, history month. They don't like to know about their history, or they don't want their history to repeat in the way they did it, and they want to do it in the way they doing it now.
All
And they
right.
give us a
That
month
right
to
there to answer
remind
your
us about
question.
the bullshit that they took us through. Because ain't nothing
It
nice
was
about your
important at the
history.
time. The Black
The-
History
the-
Month was, man. Well, hmm,
but every
hmm.
every day you should have listened to your mama, your father, your granddaddy, your great granddaddy, your great grandma. That's your history. That happened. That happened. Hey, every day we hear and try to hear shit and find out shit, find new stuff to think about. We don't think
So
about
growing up,
why these
so
Caucasians give us a month in our country.
Tennessee, Tennessee Michelle was right. Growing up, it was at a time Black History Month was real. You know what I'm saying? Like it was. Like growing up, I used to couldn't wait till Black History Month come around. Nigga, we got new Black History Month to come around, man. We finna beat these Mexicans. I wish any one of them would tear anything. I mean, I wish any one of them would tear Rosa Parks off that wall, man. They gonna tear this school up. I mean, for real. That's how I used to be in school. Like I should. I'm talking about. I used to go down back in the day, man. It used to go down. I ain't gonna even lie to you. It
No,
used to go down.
I know, cause but I'm just this, but I'm still asking the question is if we all Americans,
This
why
right
ain't
here to
no?
answer your question. There you go, right there. Tennessee just put it up there.
So why? So y'all still saying Caucasians shouldn't know about their American history? So I thought Fourth of July, Independence Day. I thought it was American. They want American celebrating America, learning about America. So why is our difference? Why is it different for us though? Why we got a month to learn about something that we know? Who we teaching this to?
Cause
All we doing is
our
teaching the.
generation,
Oh, we keep talking about the past. What that wasn't good. We gonna keep talking about slavery. That's the history y'all want to keep on going on with, or
our
y'all just know
generation,
that's the history. Y'all
our
want to keep
generation.
going on with the Ku Klux Klan burning down people's houses and all that. That's only what history. What y'all got? Y'all can say good about the history that they keep on telling y'all to keep remembering. I mean, keep going on to give you a month to remember about.
She said it's called history.
What was good about it? Why they ain't telling their history then? If y'all we Americans, we could tell our history every day.
We do tell our history every day. Every morning we
So
wake
it's a
up, I tell my history every day.
so we saying it's a separation in America when in America because y'all still ain't tell me a day when there's a Caucasian month history month.
It ain't none.
That's what I'm
It ain't
saying.
none.
So why do black people can't tell their story every day instead of it being 1 month in our own country that we share with Caucasians?
History is history is his story. Mm.
And that's
Yeah.
every day. That's his story
It's
every day. But they don't tell their story once a month. Once 1 month out of the year. They don't tell their story.
you're right.
Ain't they
So
Americans?
we've been on.
Ain't we
Yeah,
Americans?
we as Americans.
So why we? I
Yeah,
want to. So why I
we
want to study
African.
about they
We
month.
African Americans.
Nah, ain't no African American.
Nigga,
I'm
when you
telling
go
you,
fill out that application, what
I
does that
don't.
application say?
Nah, I
Yeah,
don't put
what
no
does that
African. That
application
that
say?
shit really just that jump just really just jumped on the application. They just started putting that on the application. They want y'all to they want y'all to separate yourself from America. Why do not Caucasians of America
See,
do not have a
see this,
history month?
see this is another thing. This is another thing though. This is another thing that I peeped out too. Wait,
Nah,
this is
Tennessee
way,
Michelle.
this is
Black
way, this
history,
is way
black
before I even
history is
came up.
black history. That's something you go through every day if you're black. Just like
This
Caucasians
is
go through Caucasian stuff as Americans because they just Caucasian. That's everybody go through their own story. Like Renard, it's his story. It's your story. Your story don't stop begin on one day and then end on the 28th. It keep going just like theirs. You's American. Why we putting ourselves in a separation if the Caucasians don't got what you call? They celebrate Christmas. They celebrate Halloween with us. They celebrate every other
some
holiday
white
with
people
us.
don't. Nah, some white people don't celebrate Christmas. They don't.
I'm saying the
Some white
majority
people
do.
don't even. Yeah, the majority of them. But some white people do not celebrate Christmas. And the reason why they don't celebrate Christmas because they said that somebody came up with this fake story about about Santa Claus.
I'm not saying that y'all don't y'all can. I'm trying to figure out when y'all forget y'all history. So why do y'all need them? Why do black folks need a month in their own country when Caucasians ain't got a month in their own country? I'm not saying the history of what you don't you or what you forget it after this. What y'all think the kids? Some people still don't teach their kids about this and that. You can see it on the news where people crying about. I hated that I had it when a child 11 years old commit suicide because American did what they did and bullied them, and to the point they committed suicide. They was like, I didn't want to tell my son about America, his country that he got to live in. But I'm not talking about the history. The history is there. But why? All right, then, if Black history is not just for Black people, why Caucasians don't have a history month so it won't be just about Caucasians?
Tennessee Michelle is out
We
the chain.
Americans.
Not Tennessee Michelle. Chadwick Common Sense out the chain for that. Oh man. Anyways, man, I'm back, y'all. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Who is this coming up? Oh, this yeah, Hendrick.
Oh my god.
Rona, man.
Oh my god. What's going on, y'all? Yeah. Yogi ass up here back at it again. What's good, y'all?
Back at what? Yogi back at what?
Ah, damn.
What Yogi back at?
He said, why Yogi back at it?
No, I'm saying what Yogi back at?
No, when you say that certain word, I'm gonna put it in the private chat. I'm gonna let you know the word that you say right. Every time I hear you say it, I'll be like, he back at it. Hold up.
What word? I use the white word for political people, Caucasian, and
Look at the private chat.
I ain't even said cracker, but I said
No, no,
them.
no, 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 no. You can't say
That's
it because
one
we're
I
gonna
ain't
put a
never said
remark.
that. I said
We're gonna put
Caucasian.
a
Well, I go back to where you said. Anyway,
No, I ain't
well,
say I ain't.
well,
If
listen.
I'm gonna say I would have said it.
This is another point to be proven. Black people forget, and we sit here and we talking about why don't other people have this and why don't other people. The difference is, bro, what you don't realize is
Oh,
everybody want to be black. Like,
hold up, hold up. First, when I said something about what the other people got and all this, I ain't say nothing about. I say why if we're
why
Americans.
do they have a
No,
holiday?
I asked the question. If we're Americans
Uh huh.
and Caucasians are Americans, right?
Uh huh.
So why is there not a Caucasian history month? Don't we
And
want to
I'm
know about
telling
their
you.
history too?
And I'm telling you. First off, because ain't nobody going for that shit.
Oh
Second
shit!
off, listen
But
to
you
it,
go
bro.
for them talking about
Listen to
slinging your
what
back
you're
and all that
saying,
junk.
bro.
All the country yeah. Come
Hold
on.
on, hold on. Listen what you're
Yeah.
saying, bro. You said if everybody else and this and that, why don't they have a, Mexicans don't have this and none of that.
I'm not talking about Mexicans and stuff. I said Americans. Why y'all keep
Okay,
talking about the
Americans,
Mexicans and
period.
everybody else?
But listen to it, bro, because they're not like us. It's a difference. Like the thing is, when you the person that's different from everybody else, let's say, like when you compare yourself to an animal, bro, like when you think about two animals, it's a motherfucking gazelle that sticks out and it's a lion that blends in. Are you see what I'm saying? Like, so if you blend in, like when you walk into something, everything around you works for you, bro. When you're not a part of that, you have to try to do everything you can to blend in. That's the difference between what you're talking about, between everything. So when you're talking about a people, as far as a people that people like, you can't say shit. Like people really want to talk about it, but in the end, you can't say shit about Black History Month because of the power that it has, bro. Like we are so powerful, and the point that I'm trying to get is when it comes down to other people having this and that, damn all that, bro, because they're different. Like the thing, like I don't let my daughter talk about nobody else in class. Like these niggas gonna make corn. Excuse my language. These people gonna make corn one day. Like these is corn people. Like you a princess. We're not gonna talk about nobody on the bottom line. Like who cares about them getting kicked out of class? All that don't have nothing to do with you and your history. Because the point is, we talk about being lynched, we talk about all of this because history has been whitewashed to make you think that that's all that your history has.
You saying I think that?
No, I'm saying that's America, bro. It's not just you. I'm saying that is what is put out there.
All right, I get what he's
Bro,
saying, but
listen,
I'm
no,
saying
but I'm not
nobody
done though.
still ain't. I'm talking about Americans. If
Listen,
you're
bro.
American, I'm not talking about nothing else.
Listen, bro. Linda, listen, Linda,
Oh my God.
listen. When it
I
comes,
thought we
no,
were
I'm just
talking about
saying, bro.
this damn Black History
Hey,
Month.
look, if this was my channel, I'd have had the damn clip. I can't stand Mackie.
Man, I told
But
you
look,
ugly ass.
but listen though, like when you think about it, Yogi, right? Think about it like this, right? People with dreads, okay? And I really have to tell people this. Like, I went to an all predominantly white school, bro. So I've seen people with dreads, right? So if people with dreads that were of any other race knew the history behind dreads, they probably wouldn't do it. Are you see what I'm saying? So when it comes down to it, everybody wants to be this fad that they see because it's so amazing and it's so this and that. And we don't even know our own damn history because it's half of people that's Black wearing dreads right now that literally don't know the origin of a dreadlock. Are you seeing what I'm saying? You don't know the length, or you don't know the style, or you don't know any of this was your classification as a person. You didn't even know that certain people could even get dreadlocks. Like you ain't no king or no queen. You shuck corn. What you doing with dreads? Like that type of like you really don't know about. Like we don't know about the people that invented the blood bank, the gas mask, the hot comb. Like I put that in my comments, bro. Like it's so much stuff that you invented, even in Alabama, that people will walk right past and talk bullshit to you all day. If a white person knew you made the wiffle bat, excuse my language, I'm just saying. If somebody of another race that really hated on you knew that you did something that they use every day, ain't that beneficial to you? Or is it beneficial to, are you see what I'm saying? Like somebody could call you the N-word right now. Well, that's cool. You playing wiffle bat, ain't you? Why one? Bye. And I'm driving off. That's the point of it, bro. So to empower yourself, empower your mind. That's all I had to say.
That's why every day you learn something
Like
different.
these people struggle. Look at the Renault
Today,
family, bro.
right now, we're learning something different. Hena just came on the platform and told us something that I didn't even fucking know. By people wearing dreads, it's a history behind this dread wearing. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna never have dreads a day in my life because my hair too straight to be locked up like that.
Hey, can
But
I
it's
ask
a
y'all a
history.
question?
What?
Y'all know that what's the thing, Yogi? People putting their ears, bro, them long little disc things
Oh, you talking about the little hoop? It's called hoop down here.
called hoop.
Yeah, it's
I think
called
they
hoop
call
down
them
here.
gauges.
Yeah, they
Um,
call it hoop down here.
look
I
at
know
old
exactly what you're talking
African
about.
pictures, bro. Where was them gauges at?
Yeah, back in the day.
No, they wasn't even in people's ears, bro. They was in people's lips.
Yeah,
Like people don't even like the whole ring. Like this all started
the
years
bottom of the lip.
ago.
The bottom of the lip.
Like so, the thing is, like I don't care what nobody say about me with the kids, like who this and yada yada, and who people like, damn all that. When I walk out of my house, I'm a Black man every
Exactly.
single damn day. Like they don't got shit to
Exactly.
do with nothing. If I get pulled over, I can't say, well, my kids is they don't have nothing to do with
Got
nothing.
nothing to do with you.
Like
That's
for
that's
real. But
that's
they
what I that's what I used to say all the time. Just because I'm mixed with a little bit of white, just because I got that drop of in me, they gonna look at me as a black person. You know what I'm
and
saying?
they gonna
Like
look at your
if I
kids
get
like
pulled over
that, bro.
today or tomorrow and they look at my ID say BW. Just because it say BW, that first letter black, the first one, the first one, they gonna treat me like they gonna try to railroad me.
Hey,
Straight.
bro, if you pour black paint on white paper, what happened? That's all I'm gonna say.
The black gonna cover it all the way up. As you can see right now in my picture, if you see the black fist covered up what? The whole thing, right?
I'm just saying.
It covers it all up. Covers it all up. It covers it all up. But we're gonna move on to the next topic I wanted to talk about too. Henny, you probably heard it. You probably didn't heard it. If you didn't heard it, well here it is. Just something you don't learn new today. Well, my next topic is today. They had a black coach
Uh-huh.
started off on February the 1st. He filed a lawsuit on three teams.
Huh?
The first team he was with was the Miami Dolphins,
Mm-hmm.
and he lasted off with the Miami Dolphins. So a white coach with the Miami Dolphins said that I heard you got the job, but he wasn't texting him. He's supposed to have been texting the white dude. So he said, what you mean I got the job? He said, my job interview ain't until Friday. And he looked at the phone and said, oh, my bad. Wrong person. He's supposed to have been texting a white dude. Boom. He went on ahead and filed a lawsuit on, I can't think of the other teams. Yogi, what's the other team? Because I sent you the screenshot. There's two other
I couldn't
teams.
say it. It was look.
But anyway, it was two other teams. I supposed to have this written down. I was in the street buying some stuff. There was some other teams, man. So basically why I'm bringing this up, man, is because it started off as a race thing. They don't want no more black coaches no more, as I can see. It's starting to buy down. Now in the NFL, it's only three black coaches left.
Mm-hmm.
And it live and now that it's gonna be two because that one got fired and he done did three lawsuits. So as y'all can see the reason why I brought this topic up because it's part of the black it's finna be part of the black history now.
Mm-hmm.
It's finna be part of the black history now.
That's a whole bunch of questions behind that, bro. And
Yep.
sports in general.
Yep. And sports in general.
Think about, bro, how come teams, and this real talk, how come teams when they have a black quarterback, a lot of teams, if you realize, like even when it comes to quarterbacks, like quarterback really, like you think about the leader of the team, right?
Mhm.
So when it goes down to it and it goes down to sports or athleticism, nobody can tell me that my man from Baltimore ain't literally one of the most athletic people in the game. So when you're looking at it, how come people don't want more quarterbacks like this and they want people that can sit in the pocket and do whatever? But there's plenty of us that can do that position. I guess a lot of us really that go into college as quarterbacks and then we have to switch positions. Like you end up being a wide receiver or something else just because.
But at the time when they move you from that position to another position, guess what? You dominate the next position, right or wrong.
You do dominate it, but the thing is, you're like you could be considered a leader. Like Randy Moss, let's just say, was considered the leader and all of this stuff, but quarterback was always top notch. You see what I'm saying? Like if the quarterback ain't can't speak up, like no, like that's considered the leader of the team, no matter what.
Yeah,
I
that's the
don't care
captain.
who's on the team.
That's the captain.
So yeah, I'm just saying. So when it comes down to it, it's always someone in this position or always someone. I don't know. I just it's something that you notice. But then the thing is, if it's not, then somebody always has a story behind why they're so damn good. Or a
Right.
story behind, you know what I'm saying? Like the black quarterback just can't be the black quarterback. Like you gotta have a story behind it.
Right.
Mike Vick was
Like
cool, but he had to come through the trenches. And then when Mike
right.
Vick was about to win the championship, dogs.
Like they had a whole big thing because Kaepernick did a kneel.
Mm-hmm.
A whole big thing that went down in history. If y'all seen some of my recent video I just did recently, I put up on the thing. It had Kaepernick on there. It had Kobe Bryant on there. It had a whole bunch of new people on there. So mm, mm,
You
mm.
know, the black people wasn't the first people to kneel, but I ain't gonna get into that today.
It wasn't. It wasn't. You're right. It wasn't. It wasn't. It was not.
The people was not the first person. That fist right there that we got is the first thing we did. As far as well, not the first thing, but y'all know as far as a powerful solidarity moment. But we are not the first people to kneel during the national anthem. Just remember that. I'm telling you, I go in this shit all day, y'all. This stuff I watch.
I mean, we got all month to do it. You know what I'm saying? I came up with this topic and I wanted to do this thing. I felt like I needed to do it, and I wanted to. I ain't wanted to be the first one. I wanted a couple people to be a part of this, but some people had other stuff doing it, and two
Hey,
of the people I talked to are the two of the people that's up here on the panel. So, I want
was
to
Court in
continue to,
there?
huh?
I said, was Court in there? I thought I heard Court.
Uh, but
What they doing over
I
there?
want to continue to do this stuff. Every day somebody need to go on their channel and we can talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
They gave us 28 days. I want to use them 28 days. I'm
Yeah.
sorry I had to start it off on the 27th day, but I want to use them 27 days that we got left. We
Well,
could talk about some stuff.
what happened? What happened to yesterday?
I see a couple people was doing a lot of things. People was at the stores. People had to go get their wife from work. It was a lot of stuff.
Hey
You
man,
know.
I just want to say we getting 18 inches today. So
Wait a minute, Jesus! Oh, you talking
let
about
me show y'all
snow?
my winter wonderland. My window dirty though. Let me open everything up to show y'all.
So Henny getting 18 inches of snow today, y'all. So that means he's gonna go live tomorrow on his channel. We're gonna talk about
Yeah,
some
look at
more
this shit,
history.
y'all. Mac, look at it.
We're gonna talk about some more history.
Look at it, y'all. That's from the top floor.
Mm,
From the top
you can't go
floor.
nowhere because your car is covered up.
From the top floor.
But Yogi, what's going
Well,
on, my brother?
chilling.
Damn.
Okay, okay, okay,
Anybody in Michigan that want to come clean up this?
But
okay.
I still ain't hear answer to my point.
You talk about the
All this
everyday
give the
thing?
gab shit y'all talking about. I still ain't hear. I still ain't hear the question of if we all Americans,
Mm-hmm.
why the hell we know we gotta have a month, but they don't have a month in their Americans too,
Because they different.
huh?
You're
Because they
different.
who?
My answer was because you're different, bro. I
No,
don't.
I'm saying this one. I ain't talking about no difference. I'm talking about how is Americans different from Americans.
Because you're
Yeah,
different, nigga. You got here
that's
different.
just how it is.
You built half of
No,
the
we
way.
know the history. We know the history of what I'm asking. All right, why if they're Americans too, why is they don't have a month that they talking about everything that they talking about that they difference is
That's their fault.
in America? I'm talking about in America. I'm talking about as American, not nothing else in America. We know the history. We know what we talking about. All right, I understand that. I
So
get
what's
that.
the overall question? Are you saying that we need to?
Why is there a separation in America between a black and a white person, and there ain't no separation in no other country?
It
That's what I'm
is.
asking.
That's false. That is completely false.
All right, tell me well.
In Africa, you can go to Africa right now.
They got different. They got different nations. But
nigga,
they still
no, no,
celebrate
no.
Africa.
Excuse my language, but no.
I'm,
There's literally on the beach.
what
There
I'm
is a
asking
part of
you,
the beach.
do they celebrate African culture? They still all on celebrate African culture as a whole, even though they got different nations.
What you mean?
Even though they have different nations in that country, like different cities or whatever, states or whatever you want to call it,
Uh-huh.
they still celebrate it as a whole as Africa, right?
The holiday, yeah, like Christmas would be celebrated as a whole.
As a whole, right?
Nah, damn, you done got Bay up here.
In America, what
I'm
I'm asking,
saying.
in America, what I'm asking, in America, why there's a separation in Americans? All right, it's a two different nations here. But what I'm asking is, why is there a separation as a whole? Why we don't celebrate as a whole everybody the American culture? Because American culture consists in Caucasians and Black Americans.
Because American culture wasn't built as far as togetherness, though. But you know that.
I understand that. This is what I'm saying. That's our history. That's our culture. That's the history, right? That's what I'm asking.
But our history is the different. The dreadlock history is
I understand the
different
difference.
from
What you're saying, y'all ain't get what I'm saying. I understand the difference that you're saying. What
Mm.
I'm asking is, as a whole, as an American, so is we different from Americans? This is what I'm asking.
In considerable ways,
Yogi,
until we're equal, we are different.
can y'all hear me? Y'all hear me okay? Hey, y'all. So, Yogi, I first want to know, have you ever looked up why Black History Month was actually created? So it was a
I went to
purpose
school
as
just
to
like
why it was
everybody else.
created.
I went to school just no disrespect. I went to school like everybody else.
Okay, well, there's your answer.
No, y'all not answering. Y'all not answering my question. Is y'all not Americans?
Yes, we are Black Americans, but
All
the
right, we
point,
Black Americans. So Caucasians not Americans.
yep, they're Americans as well. They are white Americans.
All right. So we understand our history as Black history because we were taught this like in school or whatever, and going through life or whatever, right? Every day, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I'm asking is, why do we have a special month of education that we get every day from life in America as America?
Who gives you this education?
Living.
If I wouldn't have told you nothing about dreadlocks today, would you have known? Yes or no?
I know the history behind dreadlocks, but that ain't my
I wouldn't have
discussion.
known.
Did you know
I
who made
wouldn't
the
have
hot
known.
comb? Did you know who made the street light? Did you know who made the gas mat? Did you know
Again,
who
I
made
went to school just like everybody else.
this? Ain't stuff that you learn in
All
school.
right, then. So you learn from the regular history of being Black, right?
So somebody had to tell
What I'm
you,
asking
somebody
is,
had to do a
why is
Black
it a
History Month.
separation, and why Caucasians do not have a history month too
You gon'
in
okay,
America?
so let me explain it then. So the reason why Caucasians or white Americans do not have a separate month was because they were not the ones that had experienced a history of segregation, slavery, all of the different things that we know that are part of our history. So when it was established, when Black History Month was created, it was created we're in conjunction with black people who needed to be able to give black people a reason to celebrate their history. It wasn't about during Black History. You don't suppose we're not about talking about lynching and
You're not talking
the
about
Little
lynching.
Rock Nine. We're not. We are talking
I
about
just want a
people who,
Caucasian history month. That's all I
but
want.
because their history is what it is, it's history. So before you knew about your history, right? Before if you go back to all of the different history we learn in high school, junior high, whatever the case may be. At what point do you start learning in that series of history? What point did black people become a factor? Right. So
All right.
right. So
You
there's a
saying black
little
people?
piece,
Hold on,
right? A
Michelle.
little piece
Hold
of
up,
black
Michelle.
people.
I'm saying I learned my family history on my history. I learned my granddaddy on my daddy's side. He died at 110 years old, 112. His mama died. I mean, my daddy mama died at 108. I talked to them. They was alive while I was alive.
That's important history as well.
No,
Like
no,
so,
I'm saying no, but
it's all relevant.
they never said nothing about like he didn't say his daddy. He knew his daddy. He knew who his mama, his daddy was. He could tell. He could talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Just like he knew who his granddaddy and his grandma was.
Mm.
And he was 112 years old when he died. He told them stories. That's the history lesson that I was getting.
Right.
I knew my mama, my grandma. I know she ran from Nevada because she was one of them kids that was her mama, her mother, a black lady, was raped by a white, no, the R word by a white man that created her. They were gonna treat her different. My granddaddy, her husband, these people that's still alive, that was my granddaddy's still alive right now.
Mm.
They ran from Nevada. The whole family, the black ones, the red ones that came out red, that that whatever. They didn't want, they were taking black kids. They were taking their black kids out of their homes and they was feeding them to alligators. This is what my grandmother told me.
Right.
So she saved her kids by going to Miami.
Mm.
See, that's the history. Why they not telling that history? That's why they not telling that history, because they don't want
Listen,
y'all
bro.
to know that. That's
Can
why
I
they
tell
give
you
y'all a month. That's why they give us a month just to just recount on our shit, but they don't recount on their shit because we won't hold them accountable for that shit there. This
listen,
was
bro.
my
But your
grandmother.
but your
Can
My
I answer
grandfather's
that
alive
question?
right now. He's a pastor in Alabama.
Can I answer your question? So the reason why there is no White History Month, or excuse me, no
I didn't say
Caucasian
that.
Month. No,
I
I'm
didn't
just
say that.
saying
I said I wonder why there's no White History Month.
That's what he
bro.
said.
either a
I'm trying
Japanese
to
history
answer.
month.
I'm
I'm
trying
not
to
worried
answer.
about Japanese. I'm talking about Americans.
Okay, I got you. I'm trying to answer.
Uh,
What history
Japanese American.
can you fit in that? This is the thing you have to think. You just said it. So why don't people account for all of the stuff they did? Okay, we took over nations, we destroyed nations just for like literally cheeses and shit. Like we've done crazy stuff. So it's like, let's do a month and account for all this crazy stuff. That doesn't make sense to me. Like you can't do history if you technically have no history. You think about half of the songs you hear, what were they sampled off of? You can't do a history and say, yeah, we made such and such, because you didn't. That came from another artist that was in Motown or whatever it was. So when you're looking at it and you're looking at the history, I'm not saying that people don't have history, but what we learn about and what they push out is the stuff that you know already. People walking across the Yukon and all this other stuff, people doing mountains and treks and finding new places that people have already been at. Like this is stuff that have been told to you about history. So the thing is, this is stuff you learn about every day, but we don't even teach our own stuff every day. So it's
You're right. We don't. We don't teach our stuff every day. The reason why I know we don't teach our stuff every day because I can see him play on the game. We can have a whole argument on the game. You can have four white people on the game. They will not have an argument. Would not. You know what I'm saying? I'm just speaking on my behalf. You know what I'm saying? So you can go to the corner store and you can walk into a corner store. Somebody gonna be on that corner selling something on that corner store, right or wrong. And they gonna mean mug the shit out you, be like, damn, why the fuck is this nigga over here? Excuse my language, the N word. Why is this dude over here? You can go to a white community and walk into a store where you don't have nobody in front of that store. Nobody in front of that store.
So that's where I was talking about in the chat about it being a systemic cyclical thing because you go
Exactly.
back to your history in the 80s when all of a sudden there was a spike in drugs in our inner city communities. All of a sudden you had women that were sterilized. You got black men that have been arrested for petty crimes that are still locked up for
Hmm.
petty crimes. This is
And got
all
years off
systemic,
of it.
right? All created negative things
right.
in our history that allows for us. We pin against each other. So this is something that was done by white people, white Americans, people that have always created this division. The problem is black people don't recognize it. We will continue to talk about the issues like we're doing now, right? We'll talk
Right.
about black people are not doing this. We haven't done this. But instead of us taking the focus and figuring out what can I do for the community? What can I do to be a change or catalyst for change to my community? We got to recognize where the problem is coming from. That problem has been out there. They have done that to us, right? There is no way that we have a history of kings, queens, royalty, right? But we as Americans cannot see that. And it's because we have allowed for that system to take over and we don't get it. So that it will continue to do that. We will continue to have this fight with each other until we
Hey,
all just recognize it and again just continue to be that change, be that
I'm
agent
just saying,
out there.
as an American, I think if we gonna have a Black History Month, we should also have a Caucasian History Month.
Okay. So how about this? You
That's all
design
I'm saying.
Caucasian. What's the
What would
first
you put in that Caucasian
what's the
History
first
Month?
lesson?
Huh?
What's the first lesson? Day
No,
one.
no, no,
Cheese.
no, no. Hold up. Black people tell black people history, right? I want the Caucasians to tell the Caucasian history of being American. just like
But
we do.
what history do they have besides the KKK?
That's what I'm
Well,
saying. But y'all
there's
don't
a
want
lot of other. I ain't gonna make
we
this
don't
up.
want a refreshment on that,
I
huh?
don't want it to be a. I don't want it to be a live where we sit here and just bash white people because we got a whole
I'm
bunch
not
of.
bash. I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Well, I'm
No,
just saying.
as
I'm
an
not.
American,
I'm
as a
not
whole, if we
bashing.
all could
I'm
General.
not.
celebrate Christmas, we could celebrate Christmas at the same time. We could
Don't get me
celebrate
wrong. I
July
would
at the same
never.
4th of
I
July,
would never.
Independence
I
Day. We
would.
can celebrate all them months together. But you tell me all of a sudden we all can't celebrate Hot Black History Month together and Caucasian Month together?
The
But
reason why
the
we
things
can't.
that they
The reason.
listen, they
The
have
reason why we
listen.
cannot celebrate it together is
Not
because
together, but I'm saying
none.
as the
Nah,
same,
nah. That's
like
what you
hold the
just said.
same
That's
weight.
what you just said. You said
No,
why can we not celebrate it together? The reason why
I
we
say
cannot
I'm
celebrate
saying
it
as a
together
whole, like
is
why is
because
not a
Martin Luther
Caucasian?
King was not black. He was not. I mean, excuse my language. He was not white. Uh, uh,
Who that?
Michael Jordan. He is not white. He's black. Kobe Brown. He is not white. He's
I
black.
think y'all might be
Everybody.
misinterpreting what I'm asking.
You just.
No, you're not. You're
But Black history is still part of American
Y'all
history,
making it
Yogi.
a
It's
black
right.
and
still
white
part
thing,
of
and
it.
I'm making it an American thing. I don't get where the separation is because I'm not talking about
Americans
black
is
and white.
Everybody is
everybody.
black.
The
I'm
thing
not talking
is,
about black and white. We not talking about black and white. We talking about Americans,
right.
like Americans as a whole.
So the days that we have to celebrate together, you
They
want
should have the
more
same
days. You
28
know what I'm
days or
saying?
30 days.
There are days that we have to celebrate together. So what Yogi is saying is that you want more days.
No, I
So
said
what is Easter?
I want the same equalness and knowledge that goes out with what Black history say they doing on TV and y'all do in schools
Right.
and y'all want to tell all these stories. I
Right.
want the Caucasians to have the same month where they tell their stories too.
So what I'm trying to get you to realize is that the month came because we talk about oppression, we talked about all of this stuff, and then we talk about rising through it. That's the
All
reason
right.
for our month, and the reason why they gave us the shortest month, because you ain't about to talk about all of these accomplishments y'all had for a
We
whole 31 days.
we
So
keep
that is
going
the
back on the black
reason
and
really
white
for
thing.
our month. So what are you saying the reasoning for that month would be though? That's what I'm trying to get.
The
Like you keep
reason is
saying
the
you want
same
somebody to
the
celebrate.
same way we so-called giving our history. Why can't they give our history us in 30 days?
Did you not hear it though? What I just said? You have to explain it in that thing. Like our
No, I'm
month is
asking,
for that.
ain't we Americans? Isn't we Americans, right?
Yeah, so we celebrate together. What is July 4th? Is July 4th not a celebration together?
So why we need a Black History Month then?
To celebrate Black history.
So why we can't celebrate Caucasian history?
What history are you trying to celebrate?
Whatever
And
history
Yogi,
they
you
gonna
say it's
tell,
like it's a negative thing for you. So it's like,
it's not a
I get
it's a knowledgeable thing. It's knowledge.
exactly. So why would we have any problem, even if this is where we are currently? I kind of get where you going as far as why do we feel like we got to identify ourselves separately anymore?
In
Well,
America.
because we in America, because I feel like it is still very relative to what and relevant to what we are experiencing today in America.
So we
Black
need
people
both
still.
sides though. We need both sides of America though. Then since if it's
But
two
the thing
sides
is,
of America,
that's the thing. The reason why it was identified is because we were already getting this history every single day. And
exactly.
history, American history, does include Black people. But this month was meant for a celebration of your history because guess what? In our history, as we know it, we look and we talk about all of the issues that our parents and our grandparents, that is still vital to your history as well. That is still very important. The stories you talked about with your grandparents, very very important. But it's still also important to know about the education, innovation, that type of thing that white people or Asian people or Hispanic people or anyone may not know. Black history is not just for Black people, it's for everyone.
So it's
Because
nothing
guess
about
what?
Caucasians that they don't
Everybody's
need.
taught, right? People are taught to not necessarily identify with Black people, or, you know what I'm saying, follow you in the store, whatever your experience has been, that has been what has been taught. So this, I feel like, yes, we do need to educate ourselves and say, hey, Black history is every single month. But I don't think it's something that, so if we look at other history, right? What would you put in white American history? What would you put in that? Right? You would what include the history of presidents that we've had that were white Americans, which is pretty much all of our history, right?
Yeah,
So
President.
what would you include?
I'm just asking,
All what
shouldn't we be constantly told about this history just how we want to be consistently telling about our history?
I have a question.
If that's a history of America.
Okay, listen, you at it's a whole design, and I guess you don't get what I'm saying, to be honest with you. It's a whole design for the holiday. So, like, if you have Cinco de Mayo, like, it's a reason for it. If you have Easter, it's a reason
Who creating
for
these
it.
holidays?
Huh?
Who creating these holidays?
What do you mean?
Like, who creating these holidays?
Or it's a mix of people. It's not just white people that create a
No,
holiday.
you can look, you can add, because y'all are educated ones. You can look it up. You can see, you can look it up and ask your phone right now. Who created Christmas? And it'll tell you who created Christmas.
And what is that? What is that?
Ask them the reason why July 4th was created. It'll tell you.
But what is the reason?
That's how you find out about their history. Who told you this? Because it's their story. So we telling our story. We gonna tell our story just one. We gonna be proud about telling our history once a month in America. When we can tell it every day, we got to educate our kids every day. We got to tell our kids every day how to walk around when the police stop you. Don't make no funny moves. Don't do this and do this because it's attention. Because you're gonna go back to not a color of America. You saying American police. This is what I'm talking about. Let's stand on America first. Let's talk about American history first. It'll contribute all this together.
Okay,
Black history do not just happen without white history. So as an American, you got to tell American story, history. Tell American history. That should be every day. We shouldn't have this talking about a black history. We should tell American history just like how we want to tell this once a month at 28 days.
Okay, so with what you just said, you
as an American now, think as an American.
Listen to me, bro.
No, I'm about no Mexicans, no Asians, no none of that.
No, none of this.
Talk about as an American.
I'm gonna tell you something that's just real.
They don't do black history inside Africa. They don't do black history in Haiti. They don't do black history in Bahamas. We the only country that separate ourselves from our country. Talk about celebrating a month.
Right. We're definitely not, because Cinco de Mayo is celebrated all over. But regardless of what you just said, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. This is gonna hit, and you done took it there, but it's your thing. You don't know the reason for Black History Month, and that is literally the reason about. I just realized with what you said, you literally have no idea.
Apparently, y'all got an idea, but y'all are educated ones.
No, bro. I'm saying you're talking about everybody else. You have no idea why
everybody else. I said Caucasians and Americans. I said Americans. I said Americans. I ain't talking about nobody else. I said Americans. So why you keep saying everybody else?
Right. I don't know what you're talking about. I just said you don't know the reason for Black History Month.
I don't know the history of Black History Month. I'm 45 years
Why did Black History Month?
I wasn't around when it was a water fountain saying black and white. I wasn't around then. That's what you saying.
I have no idea what.
So I don't know why Black History Month was created.
Why was Black History? Why was it in the books? Why did they take it to the?
I had to look at the book, man.
So it says originally.
Hold on, no, babe.
Originally,
this is my point. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Why was
I'm gonna tell y'all
you're talking about why other countries don't celebrate Black History Month?
Oh my God!
Why was Black History Month created? You don't know, bro. That's the answer. You don't know, and just say
because I'm asking you. All right, why Black History Month was created?
Why was bro? If you don't know, then the thing is, we got to start from the origin of shit. You haven't mentioned Dr. Martin Luther King's and his death.
So Black History Month started with Martin Luther King.
As an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans.
My granddaddy was alive when Martin Luther King was sucking his mama titty. Nigga, how the hell Martin Luther King started Black History Month?
Hold on. Tennessee Michelle, what you finna say? Go ahead.
I was saying Black History Month is an annual celebration of achievements by African Americans at a time for recognizing their central role in U.S. history. It is used as a tool to build Black culture and American culture. Black stories are essential to the ongoing story of America, our faults, our struggles, our progress, and our aspirations. But again, it just it was meant to be used as a inspirational piece for Black people, right? And it's just something that we have continued to do annually as part of just our history of celebrations on a yearly basis, just whatever the case may be. But it is just for that. But because it was established in 1962, very much so in the middle of the civil rights movement, at a time when Black people needed to know about the inventions, about George Washington Carver, about Garrett A. Morgan, about all of the people who have been essential to our history. That's the reason why we just haven't changed it. And I don't think it's important to change at this moment because Black people are still part. We still have so much further to go. We are not where we should be to stop identifying. And the thing is, you, Yogi, teach and educate annually, is what you're saying. Everybody does not do that. If I can take a percentage of Black people and the only time that they will concentrate on learning about their history is in February, then I'm gonna take it. I'm sorry, I'm gonna take it.
I tell you.
Now
All right.
we
In
fought.
school,
I
right?
fought everybody that don't do it, that don't
So,
teach
but
their kids or
all right.
don't teach their neighbors every day.
Can I ask you? All right, I'm finna ask about some history, right? When we was in school, right? Everybody, we was all in school, right? Before, right? Made it all the way to high school. All right. And when this month came around, right? What the activities they used to have? I'm talking about. Think back, like even if you was in middle school, and think back to high school, up even elementary, probably didn't even have an elementary. When this month came around, what did they have going on? What they did that month? I want everybody to just give me one thing, like a couple of things they did that month in your school.
They
Well, for
had
Black
food done
history,
Yeah.
in the cafeteria.
I
Huh?
mean,
Uh,
shoot, some of
Oh,
everything. I
if
mean,
class
they'll
go to
do
the
a film,
cafeteria.
maybe.
a
You may
film of
talk
what?
about. You said what?
A film of what? Like a
Uh,
film of what?
It's some of everything. Don't ask me because
the first
Come
one
on,
that
we
I'm
all
deep
been to
that
in it.
I
school.
know
Come on now.
that I would see it was okay. The teacher would roll in the TV. Boom, he rolls in the TV. Boom, okay, we gonna learn about Black History Month. Then I'm gonna give you
Uh-huh.
our test after of it. What he
Yeah.
would play is Martin Luther King's speech.
Uh-huh.
Then he would give us a test on the Martin Luther King's speech.
That's how I went to
And
y'all
this is
school.
that's the first. You asked for the first thing. I'm gonna give you the
No,
first
I'm just
thing.
saying. No, I'm just asking like what like activity. You know what they had like the activity.
Yeah, that's the first
What kind of
thing.
activity they had at your school, Yogi?
All right. This is what I remember when I was in school.
I'm trying to
From
understand your point.
I'm gonna just say elementary. I ain't gonna go say I mean not elementary. I'm gonna say middle school, not elementary. From middle school, from all the way till I got to the 12th grade, I got tired of looking at this shit. Every month, you knew the month was coming around because they would roll this TV in there. Before they came over the film projector thing, they would play Rosewood. They would play um what the other little slave movies, them little racist movies there? They play that Whoopi Goldberg movie. They will they this is what they were putting in our face for history month for 28 days, as y'all say.
As y'all say, as it is say. It ain't as y'all
All
say.
right, that's what I'm
It
saying.
is say.
See, yeah,
But
see, there
see,
you go.
and
What I'm asking
but
y'all,
here's the
all right,
thing.
so
That's what your school taught you. I
huh?
thought that at your school. That's the thing. That is what your school taught you. But unfortunately, that is not the experience that everybody gets with when it comes
That's
down to
why
Black
I asked.
history.
That's why
My
I asked
school
what
didn't show
activity.
Rosewood.
That's why I asked first. What activities did they bring up in y'all school time? And I even shortened it down and said just middle school because it was going down to elementary all the way to high school. So this, and I know in high school, I got out of high school in '96.
Let me ask you, what do you think the intention was for them to play that for you, for y'all?
I don't know because no,
There's a
y'all saying
reason
we
why
don't
they
need to
played
talk.
that for
Y'all
y'all.
saying we don't
Hmm?
need to call American Caucasian History Month because we need a
No, why do you think
we
they
need to answer
played
to
that
that.
movie for y'all? No,
We need to answer that because
why
they
do
have
It
a
you?
sounds like
Caucasian
Yogi
month.
watched that movie and just got mad as hell.
But see, that's the
Even like you
thing.
said, See, this why I say when people say stuff, y'all gotta stand on what y'all stand on. Cause Mackie
I
say
mean, I will always stand on what I
in
say.
Texas, when they have them days, they jump on the Mexicans. When we had them days, after a while, we got start getting mad at that. We started beating up the white folks in the schoolhouse. Every month, the white kids didn't come to school that
But
whole month.
I said the reason why we'll start fights with the Mexicans because the Mexicans didn't like that. But
And
when
they'll
it
be
came
talking
time
And
for
see,
Man,
them
look,
to
the
get to the
Mexicans got
Mayans,
one day. They got Cinco de Mayo. Look
exactly,
at
they
that.
got one
See,
day. They got one
you
day.
know,
So
I
exactly, you right about that. So I said the reason why we will start fights with Mexicans because Mexicans would go down the hallway all because they had one day, but we had 28 days in 1 month, 28 days and plus a love day, 28 days in 1 month, and they would try to go down the hallway and try to tear off the Black history off the hallway. That's what I said. We will
right.
start fights with the Mexicans. See, the white people I already knew. The Caucasian people I already knew if they was to go down the hallway and tear off Martin Luther King Jr. off the hallway,
Oh, it'd be a wrap.
oh,
but
it's a
but for,
wrap.
but for us in our school, Mackie, this is what I'm saying. For us in our school, Mackie, the white kids go to packing their bags and getting their shit together when they hear that TV rolling in that room.
Right.
Yeah, they
you
leaving
see
out
what
the
I'm saying?
room.
It's
That
this
means black
that's
people.
It's
the
different.
that
Hold on, hold on,
you
hold on, hold
proving
on,
the
hold on,
point.
Tennessee Michelle. Hold on,
What
Tennessee
point is I'm
Michelle.
proving?
That's hold on, Yogi. That's why I bagged up and said what I said. Remember when I said at the beginning? It's history that's changing over and over and over and over and over again. Okay, from when you grew up, white people left the room, right? From when I grew up, white people didn't leave the room. They wanted to learn this stuff.
That's what I'm saying. So how could somebody tell me what I stand on is something that don't it's not understandable. But this is what this was the history as a black man that went through this every I'm talking about every time it's this month. But I'm talking about not the jumping on the white kids. The jumping on the white kids started when everybody started focusing in on why they keep bringing these damn movies out.
See, that's in your history. In our
That's what I'm
history,
saying.
they
So
didn't do that.
how could my history be wrong if I'm telling y'all my history and I'm not
Ain't
letting y'all
nobody never
tell me?
did say your history was wrong.
That's what he ain't
Right.
saying.
This
I'm
is
gonna
No,
understand black history.
no,
That's
no,
what he
no.
ain't
And
said.
this is no stop because I to be
Oh
honest with
my
you,
God, man.
no, to be honest with you, bro, this is just real shit.
I don't
Well,
know
tell me
about
if I'm
black
right or
history.
wrong. I just got a question for you, bro. Ever since I asked you that question, have I said one fucking word on this chat? Since I got cut off, have I said one word since I asked you that question? No. I
What
haven't
question?
even gotten my point across, so it really doesn't matter
How
as
could you
far
how
as
could you
look.
make a point if our history is different?
Listen, bro. What I'm asking you is a simple question. You're telling
And
me,
what I'm asking you is one simple
that's your
thing.
damn,
experience,
bro,
Yogi.
That ain't no experience. That's my history.
bro,
So as a
no,
black
please.
man,
Oh my god,
that ain't my history.
y'all niggas cut me off one more time. I'm just gonna fucking leave, dude. That shit is crazy.
Man,
If you don't want to be wrong, bro, just don't want to be wrong. Like
about my history.
everybody,
So
like
I'm gonna tell
you
y'all
trying
wrong
to
about
me off.
celebrating
It's not that
history
serious.
month.
You
That what you
don't
saying?
know. You don't know. It's fine. You
I
just
don't
told
know.
us that you were not taught the right way, right?
No,
Yes.
I ain't tell you nothing like that. That ain't the right.
Okay.
That was
Okay.
the way
So
I grew up. That's the way
okay.
it
So the
was.
way you grew up. Let me tell
All
you.
right.
Let me tell you
You
how I
know my
picked it
teachers
up.
was white, right? You know
Okay.
all the
So
teachers in the
let me tell
schoolhouse
you
were
how I
white,
picked
right?
shit up, bro.
So
You said in the beginning of this chat, you said they only gave us 28 days. They only did this. They only did that. Black history, even the week. What I said was, no, please don't cut me off, bro. You don't know the
because
history.
you lying, bro. I didn't say that.
You didn't say that?
No, I said, why would they give us 28 days and give us a month? And when
Okay.
they ain't giving themselves a Caucasian month, that's what I asked y'all in America.
Okay. So you just said, why did they not give us this? And
Why
they
I say,
don't
why did they give us a month of Black
right.
History Month, but they
Right.
not giving us a month of Caucasian month in
Okay,
America
so
as
with
an
what you
American?
just said, you said, why did they? That's the only three words I care about, right?
So
So
who gave
me
y'all Black
saying,
History Month?
so me
Who gave
saying,
y'all
no,
Black History Month?
god damn, bro. So
Why you
me
can't answer that?
saying that you don't
Hold on,
understand
y'all.
the
We all
history
getting
is
right.
me saying if you don't know the first three words, how can you understand the last part? I even told you I don't care about the rest of the sentence. That should let you know I know a little bit more than what you're talking about.
That's
Black
what you
history
think.
was not created by white people, bro. The month was literally not created by a
I
white
say,
person.
who gave you the month?
The
Who
Black
voted?
history was created in
Where the
1962.
month
What
came
are you talking
from? Where
about?
it passed that? Where it
The
passed that?
fact
Then
of
put it
Black
like that.
history was
Since the
called
story, since you
Negro
trying to
Week
make
was
it into what
created
I'm,
by Charles G. Woodson in 1962.
I
The
say,
movement turned
was
into
it
a
passed the
holiday.
made as a history? I
I'm
mean,
just
as
gonna
a
talk.
holiday
I
or
don't know what
whatever they
you're
want to
talking
call
about.
it.
I talk relevant facts, bro. Black History Month was created in 1970, 2 years after Martin Luther King died, because everyone's trying to do the movement through the 60s. And this happened to be one of the helms for why we are doing most of this stuff. Like, these people weren't going for being shut down, bro. So that's the point of why you're hearing. That's the point of why we're expressing we need to know our history. These people just didn't march and do all of this other stuff so you could forget that when somebody kicks down your door and throw a gas bomb in there and you put on a mask, that we created that shit.
Regardless, so how you gonna know if I was gonna go set up a gas bomb then if you don't tell them the whole history? If you don't tell them both sides of the history of America. So how that play games together? Y'all talking about light switches and all this shit. When I'm telling y'all, why you got to worry about a gas bomb? Why you said that comment?
I'm saying, here's the
thing
that I
throw the gas bomb in your house. Who you got to get ready for the gas bomb?
So
throw the gas bomb in the house.
So with everything I just said, you're talking about a gas bomb and not the answer that I asked.
Everything I said, I don't know history.
Did you know that? Who I just told you the name of the dude that created that started Negro Week. What is his name? You don't know.
Say nothing about it. You keep saying a week about this and this when that ain't even what I'm talking about.
It's very relevant to you just said. You literally said they gave us. If you don't know the beginning, you don't know what's going on. They gave us the wrong statement.
How about this? Moving forward, as Jackie said, moving forward, what we can do to change this so our kids that are growing up from what we don't know, what we gonna do to change this? Anybody? Anybody with a question?
There you go. That part.
Anybody
education.
So therefore, hold on, Yogi. So from when Yogi grew up, from when I grew up, from when Tennessee Michelle grew up, from when Henny grew up, what can we do to change all of this to make it right? What can we do? Anybody got an answer?
Keep Black History Month. Don't just tell the Black History Month.
That's not. Come on. We
just keep it the same.
What can we do? What can we do? What can we do to change all of this? Okay. Henny just told me something new that I didn't even know about the dreadlocks. What can I do to change? I can tell my kids something about dreadlocks because my oldest son Xavier. Hold on. Because my oldest son Xavier got dreads and he don't even know the definition of having dreads inside his head. So that's one of the things I can teach my kids. Now the next person, Yogi, what can you do to change all this? What can you do? We're gonna go down the line.
I can't do nothing. I gotta let it be Black History.
Tennessee Michelle, what can you do?
I can continue to educate people who say they can't do nothing.
Henny, what would you do?
Huh?
Oh, you applehead fuck. What would you do?
Teaching the origins, because the shit don't start when you don't. This is just real talk. I wasn't being disrespectful. I'm just saying, bro. If we don't know the origins, I'm just playing with you. You just said it.
You already know how we play.
My teaching. If we don't know the origins, like you said, for your son, if we don't know the origins for why we do stuff or what we're even talking about, we need to understand the fact of, like, if we don't know, and I'm saying this, it's not a disrespectful thing, but I have said this, bro. This is the thing. If your friend walk around saying something and you know that shit ain't true and you ain't corrected it, then you ain't their friend. I don't care how aggressive we got to get about it. If you ain't listening, we're going to be two people yelling in the car. If we got to box it out, we're going to box it out and be back in the car yelling again until somebody listens. That's just the fact.
Right, yeah, I'm
going to be honest with you. And my thing is, with it, I have always in my life, I went to always school, y'all. And like Yogi, he went to familiar, same thing. But with it, I was always thought that somebody created this holiday and just gave it. Like, y'all gave us the shortest day. Like y'all did, but like the whole it was started with the dude that literally picked the month. So I'm just saying, if we don't know the origins of how something started, like if we know that, then we can go back and we can start digging into it and digging deeper for the things that people fought for, or our ancestors. Like even Yogi said, his people had stories that they told him about different stuff that happened. Like, so this is stuff that needs to be passed down, but it's not just the good stuff. Or excuse me, not just the bad stuff. You feel me? Like, because it seems like wherever we were at, and even when my Flint schools taught me a lot different than when I went out to the suburbs. So when it came to Black History Month, it was two different things. So I get that. But we have to be the people. What's good, BT? We got to be the people to say, okay, let me go back to the origin of why. Like, we got to educate ourselves because we all will believe that Christopher Columbus created America unless we didn't educate ourselves.
You didn't say that. You didn't say created. He said discovered.
Discovered, excuse me. Discovered. Hell, he think he created it. Shit.
See, we gonna
But
go
we
on
just,
the same time. See, but
but the,
all right, let's
didn't get
let
it.
VT answer the question. VT, what would you do different?
oh, hey, BT. I didn't see it.
BT, your mic
VT,
work? You done been on StreamYard too many times, BT.
But we have stopped educating ourselves and our people. You know, Yoga, you talk about the stories that, your family have talked and told you when you were growing up. We don't have people at homes talking about these stories anymore. If you're not telling and passing word on to your children, to your neighbors, to your family, to your friends, whatever the case may be, then messages and stories and history will die. That back in our history, when we didn't have any type of cell phones, any type of communication, whatever the case may be, in order for our ancestors to be able to survive, they survived by listening to stories from their parents and their kinfolk. That is how we have to do it. But somehow we have gotten to the point where we are so selfish as a people. We don't want to do that. We don't do things for our community. And you don't have to go to college. You don't have to go to high school to educate yourself. You don't. Just at the end of the day, if I hear something that I don't know, I am the type of person that I am immediately looking it up. I love to educate myself, and I know that I will educate myself until I'm gone out of here. At the end of the day, you never should stop learning, and you never should stop teaching. That's just it.
Yeah, you're right.
If he don't tell people about that story dies with him. Like, that's real
Mhm.
talk.
Well, who says I don't tell the story?
No, I'm just saying in general.
No, yeah, it's
We're
important to do that.
No, I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. I do express my as a history of a black man. I do that daily. I don't do that. I talk to my sons. I tell them about whatever. It don't matter. What I'm saying
Right.
is, I'm not saying nothing about the month. I'm not saying y'all ain't because that's where y'all miss. We got out somewhere else. I'm not talking about the month. I'm not talking about the history. I'm not talking about the education. Everybody need the I ain't saying that. What I'm saying is, if we're gonna tell history, we need to tell both as Americans. We need to tell the whole American history story because our history is America.
right.
So we should tell the story. We should tell the story as a whole. You see what I'm saying? Because every time you, like I said, if you read a book, that book start off gentle and stuff, and then it get into a mystery, and then you got to go all the way through this whole book. But you got to tell everything that got you to this suspense to get to this. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you. I
Well,
got.
they have been.
That's what I mean about the Caucasian month. They should
Right.
have a
Well,
month.
what you saying? If your kids were in school, like let's just say your kids was in middle school, you know what I'm saying right now. Well, what you heard, with that movie that you watched and everything that turned you off in middle school, that was like, damn, why they playing this? If you knew right now that they were teaching something so vulgar or something that was like it didn't even seem right, like if you like, you know what I'm saying, like because for me, even having a Black History Month, and thinking about it, if they pull something off like I would be really kind of offended. Like I'd be like, whoa, I don't know if I want my kid in that class. Like I don't want my kid learning about like I can teach my kid the stuff and this and that, but like to be honest, like nooses and hoods scared me when I was young. Like it petrified me. Like I couldn't sleep for days when I watched different stuff. So it's like different stuff I don't believe that certain kids or certain age groups need to see. But as far as denying what happened or anything like that, like that's going to be a very touchy subject. And people just don't want to talk about touchy subjects. And to be honest with you, it's really not Black people because we're really the people that'll tell you how you made us uncomfortable. And we want you to know how it made us feel. So we're the wrong people to get in, to say that. But when it comes down to other people being wrong, that is where you're going to get into the issue because when you bring it up, people will say some stuff, but it'd be a lot of made up stuff. Let's throw in Christopher Columbus. No, we can't throw in that. Like, so you're going to really have a whole month that's based, you're gonna have a whole week on different cheeses. And that's just, I say that being funny, but there were nations that were ran over just for cheese, bro.
But this is what I'm saying here. This is what I'm asking. I understand. Like I say, I be understanding what y'all be saying. Y'all don't get that I understand what y'all saying. I'm not fighting that. I'm not fighting that point. That wasn't my point. That wasn't like the really what I was like. I can't. I'm not gonna like try to argue about the like the history of the book that they it's the book that we wrote or whoever wrote it. We not talking about that because some of the everything in the book is facts. The good things and stuff like that. You feel me? But all right, because why I said that? Because you said something about we don't want to teach our kids about the bad of it, just the bad, or like you said about the caps and stuff and the fear and all that. All right, like I said, me and my wife we've been married for a minute, but when I came and stayed in Orlando with her, right? This and what this 2000, right? 2000, right? So we seen out there in broad daylight in a black neighborhood, white folks march down the street with the police following with hoods and the whole thing on. It's because it's never the past. So we have to teach our kids the whole history of America instead of letting it be 1 month that we talk about the stuff that we talk about, because it's good for the history. If they don't know that, you know what I'm saying, it's fine to do that. That's what I'm saying. But let's tell it as a whole though, because it's bigger than just a Black History Month. It's
I'm
a
finna cut y'all. Hey VT, if that's you, turn your camera on because they got a lot of people that's trying to just come up here and I ain't letting them on. If that's you, turn your camera on. My bad, yo, go
But
ahead.
Yogi, the idea that we need a White History Month still kind of relies on that idea that you think that we are all equal. Much like when we talk about all lives matters, it is not the same. So
I
that
get
works off if society. Well, listen, let me explain. And you got to let people talk if you ask a question. So if society was fair and just, then perhaps we could have those White History Months. But the understanding is that it's needed because it is not equal. We don't have that, right? We learn there's a rich history of us learning about white history. So to answer your question, the reason why we do not need or there is not a White History Month is because Black history is wildly underrepresented. It's not just in the classrooms, but everywhere. We are not represented. So we have to look at the reason as to why. If we were living in an equal society, then perhaps that would make sense. But it's not that way.
um,
That's just
when I go out, when I go around Alabama, I'm gonna show y'all that Black history is always in this part of Alabama, man. It shows everywhere around here. So what I'm saying is,
I believe it.
that's what I'm saying is, but how could we tell a history without telling the whole history as an American? I'm not saying we equal. That's why I'm asking that. Not that's what I'm saying. Not saying why we not teaching the whole history of America to our kids instead of trying to kind of shine them away, and then at the day we saying that we don't see this type of stuff, and then it happened to them. Like in Alabama, they still, you know what I'm saying. Every so often they find a hanging person. You feel me? They don't find a hanging American, a Caucasian person. They find a hanging American Black hanging. You feel me?
All right.
That's the history. The history is continue going on. So you got to be prepared. We got to prepare our kids for the history that's continuing. Because nobody ain't talking about nobody. We not talking about why it's not a Caucasian American month.
I have a question. I have another question for you, bro. I got a question for you. Do you? And this is just a question off of what you see out in the world right now. Okay, I'm not asking about anything that anybody knows or valid. What's good, VT? Do you? This is a quick question. Do you? Actually, go ahead, VT. You just got on. Go ahead and talk, VT.
I'm getting a little lost because it's kind of like the first Mackie asked me a question, and from what I never got to answer. My phone's acting up too. But are you guys saying what can we do to move forward? How should it be taught? Because me coming from the old school, what I'm about to tell you guys, I just left a meeting today, Well, the man didn't want us to use the word racist. He said it was insensitive. If we continue to have these small arguments, because I consider this a small argument
Uh-huh.
amongst each other, Black history will be eliminated. And what the young man, what Yogi is saying, I guess I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong. He's asking, why does it have to be specifically Black History Month?
No,
Because
no,
we are in the minority.
no. I'm not questioning them. She just
Okay,
asked me a question.
correct,
I'm
correct.
saying
That's why
I'm
correct
not
me if
talking
I'm
about
wrong.
the month.
Hold on. I
Huh?
can't talk if I'm gonna get cut off. So that's
No,
why
I
I
thought
said,
that you asked me a question. My bad.
correct me if I'm wrong.
Uh,
So what are you saying? Are you saying there should be no Black history taught? I mean, it's not no Black history, but I mean it should just all be history. I mean, what do you want to call it?
what you mean? I don't get what you're saying.
What are you saying as far as Black history and
No,
how?
Black History Month can continue. And I'm not saying that. I ain't got nothing
Okay,
against Black History Month.
okay. So what? Let me know what your side of the discussion is, because it seems like you guys aren't like it seems like there's a divide in what's being said or a misunderstanding in what's being said. So before I speak on it, I just want to know what your take on the celebration or the or Black history or what it is or what like when you and Henny were talking, what is the it seemed like there was a separation of understanding. So I'm trying to figure out what was your side or what you were saying.
What I was saying is, as what we going through, talking about saying this 1 month situation. We telling our history. We refining our history and telling going on telling people, we celebrating, everything that went on in the history of being black, right? That what y'all that's this month about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm asking is, if we Americans, we are Americans.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't the European, I mean, the Caucasian Americans don't have a history month as well? So we could know about just how we blasted it out on. We're not telling it to our kid. We're not telling it to the next generation right here. Wait, you know what I'm saying? It's all across. White people tell a story about Black History Month. Asian people, everybody they tell a story. They tell a story. But what I'm asking is, in America as a whole,
Mm-hmm.
why there's no Caucasian month, history month, so we could know about, so that it could connect that history all together, like as an American.
Okay. So why is there no
I'm not, I'm
Caucasian
not
history
against,
month?
I'm not against the Black History Month.
Okay. See, that's what I need to know. See, we get understanding. We won't be talking over each other. All right. Now, see, you're saying why is there no celebrate? Because they celebrate 365. Black history, like I put in the comment section, Black history is two things to me. It's a part of the American history that is discussed daily, that is celebrated daily. And initially the thought of it came in 1926 with Negro History Week, because we weren't getting the it wasn't we weren't being noticed as we should back in 1926 and even today. You don't have to ask anybody. We look on the walls of you go to DC, you look on the walls. The presidents that you see, it's a reflection. It's every day. Why do they need a certain month? They get it 12 months. It's every day. And we need to teach our kids, regardless of what the schools teach, because the schools are limited to what they teach. But if we continue to argue with each other, this critical race theory that these people are so against will eventually wipe out even Black history. I went to a meeting today where the councilman was upset because we were talking about redistricting. Redistricting. This was in Georgia, and the same thing is going on in Alabama. He got offended. The first thing out of his mouth when the people of the community spoke was racist. Don't use the word racist because it's a sensitive word. And we sit here and we work together and nobody even brings up race. Okay, who is he talking to? Because we're not going to play this game with you guys. You say we played a race card. You created the race game. And now that you're losing it because the United States is becoming a non-majority Caucasian country and a non-majority Caucasian South in the areas that I'm normally in. Every word that reflects racism or calls out racism is sensitive. So that being said, they're upset because they get their history celebrated daily. Daily. Just walk around, just look around. And this doesn't mean the South, this doesn't mean the North. They get their history celebrated daily. If President Gerald Ford saw the need to sign and to make it official that
Mm-hmm.
February be a whole month of Black history, why can't this in 2022? He did that in 1976. Why can't in 2022? What is the uproar now? So I tell all my Black brothers and sisters, don't worry about their history. They got that covered. They
Right.
got that covered.
It's plenty.
They've got that covered, my brother. And I mean no harm, no will, because I usually don't get serious about stuff like, but on YouTube. But this right here, I'm looking at right now. You got red states trying to erase what they're calling is critical race theory. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
because they say it goes into too deep. It makes a race feel guilty. When I was in school, the white kids wanted to know what happened. They wanted to know about the trade, the slave trade. They wanted to know about things. And I don't even know if the slave trade is taught right now in school. And if we continue to let these things go on because of, and it all got sparked, in my opinion, 4 years ago, the little that was being taught, when they decided they wanted to take it back, he was just a spark. Now they feel comfortable again and trying to make us feel like, I tell my friends now, if y'all don't get up and go vote, and I know all politicians, but you got to have somebody. You just got to pick. And we definitely know who not to choose. But when they come knocking on your door and say, brother, get out there in that field again, maybe some of our people will understand that there is a discrepancy in it. There is a need for our accomplishments to be recognized. And that's basically what Ford, why he made it a whole month. It's really just so that we can be recognized. The things that Black people have gone through, the struggles, the accomplishments, so that they
Mm-hmm.
can be recognized. We see their accomplishments daily. We even see their accomplishments that are truly our accomplishments when we walk out the house and we stop at a stoplight.
Yep.
Heart surgery. We see some of our accomplishments that have been melted into made theirs. When they made that movie, when the Black man really did the heart surgery, that was to let people know, yeah, the white guy did it. Who talked
Hidden
him through
figures.
it?
Mm-hmm.
Who talked him through it? So there does not need to be 30 days or a month for American history. It's every day. They consider themselves American, brother. Some of them don't even consider us Americans to this day. So it is American history. Our history is a part of that American history.
It's
But the
not mean to
African,
cut you off.
the
That's why.
African
Why
diaspora,
do we need
which
a
we
month?
actually we
Why
got
we
our
don't
own history.
celebrate Black
Hold
History?
on, Yogi.
Yes,
Hold on, Yogi. Hold on, Yogi.
No, I'm just asking the question. Why we can't celebrate Black History every day, just like the American Caucasian? That's what I'm asking y'all. Why we need a month? Why we don't celebrate it all year round, just like them?
okay, what you're asking is a very easy question. See, the government gave us February. We're supposed to. That's why I think I came in on that part. We're supposed to make sure that it's taught. And actually, in school, if they're teaching history right, it is every day. It should be. Because from the time they brought us over here to now, we've been a part of it. But that's not happening. And they knew it wasn't happening. They knew it wasn't happening in 76. That's why Ford put an emphasis on it, hoping everybody would put the emphasis on it, from the streets to the schools. It should be that way, but it's not. It should be. But since it's not, we take what they gave us, like we got to take February, because I'm telling you, brothers, if you don't pay attention, they will take that back. They're making certain language illegal in these state
Mm-hmm.
legislatures, especially the red states. They're making it and this is not even about blacks or brown. It's even gays, LGBTQ. They don't want you saying certain words that are just words. They're trying to make, I felt like today, this guy was trying to make the word racist seem like the word retarded. Excuse me, YouTube, that is not the correct term you use anymore. You say mentally challenged. So when you're making a term or change for the better like that, I can get with you. But when you're trying to say remove the term racist, why? Racism hasn't died. We are to continue to carry that on. And what I hate so much is just seeing our young people not really care, because it's only these old heads that march with MLK that's still pushing. Some people in my generations, 40s, 50s, they're still pushing. And we have a few in their 20s and 30s. It's so few. When they talk to their friends about it, they like, okay, okay, I'll try to make it, girl. Okay, but how about this party they having Friday?
Because it's not affecting them as much.
Right. But once it, like I said, if they knock on your door tomorrow and say, we need you over here in this field picking this cotton, you were supposed to be here at 4:30. Out the
Mm-hmm.
blue. You everybody be looking crazy, but you better get out there and pick that cotton. But see, you haven't been paying attention. Yeah, it's 2022. You would think, what the hell are they talking about? Because we haven't been paying attention. So it's up to us to continue that talk, that teaching that every day. And like I said, Black history is a part of American history. It should be every day. I don't know if it's in the schools right now or not, but it should be. So there's no reason to have, what would we call it? Caucasian history. There's no reason to have that. They have it, and they're gonna keep it. They're fighting hard to keep it. A comedian, Funny Man, Birmingham, Alabama. They tried to say that man incited a race riot just because he was there and really applauding the removal of a Confederate statue.
Mm-hmm.
But what happened January 6th? You got the former president calling for them to be pardoned if he gets into office. You got Congress right now not saying a word, half of them, about the light sentences that a lot of them are getting. And I understand the Department of Justice, they got to give some of them light sentences. Look at how many of them was out there. Some of them rolling, some of them saying, "Oh, I was doing what my president told me." But you chest up, man up and woman up, and keep your chest up in court. We have to continue to teach because they may not be teaching it in school, and our kids may not say anything about it. So, like you said with your kids, we got to keep teaching it because we're definitely going to keep. They're going to keep teaching our kids the American history, whether ours is in it or not, whether our portion is in it or not. So that's why we don't have to have 30 days to celebrate that because we got it. We got, 30, yeah, 30 days. We got 12 months. We got 365 days.
Thank you. That's all that you said the same thing I was just saying. I might have said in the breakdown you were saying that's the same thing I was saying. Why we not celebrating every day? Why we don't love ourselves every day? Why or if as Americans, if we gonna accept a month to think that supposed to wash away when we know when we grew up, this month didn't always mean how it mean right now today. It meant education, but it was different education that was going on. And if we don't tell the whole history, we ain't telling no history. We just telling the story that we want to tell. We got to hurt feelings to tell our history because the history is replaying because they hold on to their history all day, every day, every day.
Mm-hmm.
When you telling me we don't hold on to ours every day, and we Americans just like them. Christopher Columbus told you when he got here.
And you're absolutely right because to highlight it in February, you go to these schools, you see all kinds of stuff all on the wall in February. Okay. Now we may not go see all kinds of stuff all on the walls, just really highlighting a particular war or a particular thing that Caucasian people did, but we just truly, it's just embedded. We truly do. We truly do. We truly see things that represent a part of their history. Well, like you said, what can we as parents, grandparents do to make sure these schools are keeping that Black history stuff up?
Make
They're
sure we
probably not
telling
going to
our
do it.
kids.
It'll probably be
Make sure
a
we're telling our kids the truth.
right. But so that means we have to do it because right now in their minds, oh, we just need to do it on MLK Day in January and the month of February.
But we accept it though, because everybody's saying we accept it. No, let's say
No, we
no,
don't. We don't. We
we
don't
gonna
accept
tell
it.
our story
Everybody
every
does.
day.
All of us don't accept it. I promise you.
Nah, I ain't saying all of it. I'm just saying, like, say if all of us that's on this panel right now and start every day talking about everything in their past, you telling that history that ain't end right now to this day because you're alive right now. You can see this shit going on right now. Like I say, I remember the days where it was a water fountain for white folks and black folks. It didn't say no other culture. So I'm only talking about us. So if we're gonna tell the history, let's tell the history as a whole. Cause that's the only way we could get it out there and it could be really like felt, and that's the only way we're gonna make a change. Cause we gotta stop hiding from what America history is. We don't got nowhere else to go. I don't know nobody. Like I say, my granddaddy was 108 when he died. He didn't tell me about Juju in Africa. He didn't tell me about Link over there in Haiti. He didn't say nothing about. He was saying America. He was talking about right here.
But see, when my mother went to school, they taught about that. They taught about some of the things that you're talking about. I think maybe you may have graduated at what, maybe late 90s, something like that. See, they talked about the water fountains. They showed the images, not the graphic images. They talked about things like that. But as you said, with this critical race fight going on right now, And with the things going on right now, we have to fight just as hard. You guys, just watch the news. I tell you, I don't know what you guys do every day. I know everybody works. But if you can, one day this week, I'm going to even say watch Fox. Watch Fox a day or an hour and watch MSNBC and CNN. We only get what they're going to show us. But when I tell you to watch that, it'll definitely, for anybody who's been slipping, not catching the news, some people don't like the news, it'll definitely let you know what you should be pushing and teaching your kids yourselves and what you should be pushing your school boards to teach your children, to have them open to. Because right now, Maine America is trying to basically wipe out.
They trying to wipe out the history. That is
They're
the
trying to
point.
erase Black history.
The only way you can
Yes,
do
they
that
are
is we
trying to
kill.
erase
We
it.
got to kill every
They are
black person
passing
in
laws.
America.
They're
Every
passing
black
laws.
person got to be dead in America. If you telling me, I don't care if you young as hen or somebody, y'all got a history to tell. So long as y'all alive, y'all gonna tell this history. Y'all know the y'all say y'all educated, so y'all know the history. Y'all can keep passing that. Don't do it just be like, oh, this just stop at the end on 28. Nah, let's move it on to 365 days. Let's talk to our kids every day. Let's talk to other people. Let's tell them about the history of the life that we went through, not
It
the
don't
bad
go.
stuff, not the selling
It
drugs
But
don't
and
go.
all that.
Yogi,
It does. It
everybody,
don't go off about. It doesn't go off if you just educated. Tennessee Michelle might be the only one in this damn group to have an educated college degree, right? You
I
can't keep
think
saying just because y'all educated, y'all educated. You learn stuff new every day. If I'm right or wrong, you learn stuff new every day. I just learned something new today, and I didn't even know about it. So you can't keep putting the terminology in and
you
saying,
can't keep saying
"Oh,
educated, bro. 'Cause
you educated, you
All right,
educated."
then.
I got
Let
a
me
We
ask.
all
master's.
because we
Since,
all
since,
learn
since y'all
something.
think I'm
We
talking about
all we
educated
no no
like
no no
that,
no no
HBCU.
no,
it's
I'm
because
talking about
hold on. I let everybody talk. Can I speak? It's because you keep saying it. You know what I'm saying? So a person gonna think you talking about them, but you can't keep saying, "Hey, you educated, you educated, you educated." If you keep repeating yourself, then somebody on the planet gonna think, "Damn, yo, you talking about me? God damn, what's up?" You know what I'm saying? So as one, we should be equal, not Henny educated because Henny got a house. You educated because VT know everything about Black history. Yoga educated because he know everything about what happened way back in 1986. No, you cannot keep pointing fingers until
no.
the day we realize.
Hold on,
Hold
Mackie.
on, hold on, hold
No,
on,
hold on.
hold on,
Before
hold
you
on,
say
hold on,
that,
hold
no,
on, bro,
before
hold
you
on.
say that, listen, listen. No,
Until the
listen,
day we
Mackie. Before you say
realize,
that, I'm not
until the
talking
day,
education
hold on
like that. I'm not talking about education like that. I'm talking
until
about
we realize we are one as a Mexican being a household 90 people in a household, bro. I done seen it to myself to this day. They can be in a household. It could be 90 people inside the household. 90. I ain't none of them gonna argue and say, hey man, oh man, get up off of me. Oh man, move over. They not gonna do that. They all gonna come as one. That's why I keep saying it over and over and over and over again. As black people, we always combine from each other. It's stupid. I'm having the same argument that we have right now with my brothers and sisters. And it's only four of us left. It was five. I'm having the same argument. We're always combining each other. Who got the most this? Who got the most that? Who got this? Who got the biggest house? Who got the baddest car? It's stupid. It's very stupid. It's stupid. Now here it is, 28 days in a month. That's all the fuck we get. 28 days in a fucking month. White people get 365 days. VT just said it. They get 365 days in a month. We get 28 days to argue against each other. We on this fucking panel right now. It's five of us on this panel. We arguing against something by what? By black history? So, as I said, what can we do to change it? What can we do to change it?
And I
Can
think,
anybody
Micah,
tell
that's
me
why I
what can
came
we do to
in.
change it?
I think that's
Exactly.
why I
That's
came
that's
in.
why you came in. And when you came in, you spoke the truth. You know what I'm saying? So I can't knock you for that. So that's why I keep saying over and over. As black people, we have to come together, bro. As kings and queens, we have to come together. Even though I got a little bit white in me, but when the white people see me, guess what they think I am? I'm black. So as equal, we have to come together. They come together. Why we can't do it?
Before you
Why we
know it,
can't do it?
it'll be March 1st. And are we supposed to
Before
stop
you
then?
know it.
Heck no, we're
Exactly.
not supposed to stop then.
So
That's
why
my
we
whole
can't
thing.
come together?
Right, right.
Henny got got
That's
got kids of a different race. Henny got
wait
kids
a
of a different
minute.
race. I have kids of a different race. So why we can't come together? Why? Why it always got to be an argument? Why?
And I think that's been the
I
main
don't get it.
point. Everybody, that's been the point. Everybody has made the same point and said that the education does not stop in February. That is the point. You're supposed to continue to talk about it. As VC said, it's the whole voting piece that'll get me worked up. That whole thing is just about us educating. Yes, when you learn something, spread that knowledge. But the only education should not be what is taught from you from somebody that you know. So you can't just
You're
think
right
that
about that.
it's my auntie, yeah, my auntie or my uncle or my granddaddy told me that that's what's law. You learn from everybody. You should be learning something from this panel. So it's just like
And you're
that's
right
that's
about that.
what.
Tennessee Michelle, you're
Yeah,
right
you
about
got to
that.
be able to learn that.
Man, I
So
earned
the
from the
old
man
ice
on the
cream
corner
song.
store. You earn from the man
So
on the corner store. You
Right.
earn from the man.
the old
You
ice
earn from
cream
the
song.
homeless.
And Yogi can vouch for this. Me, Yogi, and somebody else on the panel, right, Yogi? Me, Yogi, and somebody was on the panel. It's an old ice cream song. As the ice cream man come around when he play that song, do y'all know the verses of that song? I bet nobody don't know the verses of that song besides Yogi because somebody told us about the song inside the chat, and this was a year ago when me and Yogi had the fallout, right,
Yeah,
Yogi?
yeah.
Okay, the verses of that song is called "Nigga, Nigga, 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 Nigga." He's saying "nigga" inside the song. Did anybody ever knew that? Nope. Nobody never knew that. So
I never
as
knew it.
I was right,
Yeah.
I know it
And they
because
nah,
ain't nobody never
they
spoke
got
up,
it in Google. You can look it
and,
up. You can look it
and
up.
they got it in Google, and he's right
Damn.
about that.
Yeah,
They got it in Google.
I'm not surprised, y'all, because a lot of people didn't know where the word picnic came from. You know,
Exactly. So I had to look this up. I had to look
If-
this up. I said, man, this nigga here on the panel talking about some fucking nigga, nigga, nigga. We playing a video game. We playing a video game. Yogi is I'm lying or I'm down, bro.
no, that's what yeah. He told us to look it up.
I had a whole argument with a dude that I didn't even know from Adam or Eve, but he was black, and he sit there trying to tell me knowledge about a song that one of my kids went to the ice cream truck to go buy ice cream for. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, bro, it's an ice cream truck. So what if it is saying nigga, 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 nigga? He like, bro, he's disrespecting us. Go listen to the song. You not listening to what I'm saying, Mackie. I'm like, man, nigga, fuck you. I'm cussing him out because now I'm getting mad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because he's telling me somebody about what my child went into the truck. So I'm defending my child, not listening to the knowledge of what he's telling me. You know what I'm saying? See, that's what we get. See, I'm gonna bring it back. That's what we get wrong as black people. We don't come together as one. We always try to divide from each other. You feel what I'm saying?
I
So
get what you're
I
saying.
said, man, shit, let me look this shit up. I looked it up. It's a white dude running across the room saying nigga, 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 nigga on the video. If y'all think
and,
I'm lying, look it up. It's called the
and,
old ice cream song.
and Mac,
Yeah, I mean, in the
on
mini
that,
mighty mo is a
what
song
does it
too.
say? It said American history. When you look it up, it say American history. This is
Yeah,
what that's
exactly.
what
What's up, Peanut?
I'm not saying Tennessee Michelle wrong, comedian Hendra wrong, VT. Oh, we all saying the same thing. This what the only thing I'm saying is I wish that we could get to the point that we love ourselves enough to do the whole 365 days if we gonna call ourselves Americans. We should have the same fire in us that Caucasians have. The same fire. The teach our each one teach one each one or have it go. We should do that every day. We should do that every day.
I agree with that.
And I don't like I say I don't got nothing against no Black History Month. That's what everybody might have thought. I'm not talking about that. I'm trying to get people to understand as who we is. Our history don't stop. Just like theirs will never stop either. You said it yourself, VT. Theirs will go 365 days. They don't need a month. But we going through it right in the history with them. We Americans. So our history should never stop.
that's true. That's
It,
true.
it never stop.
And with us, it won't. But see, with them, it's a threat. And I
Exactly.
see that by the things that are happening in day to day life. Like I said, with the things in legislatures, like the fact that It takes February for them to line up the walls up with posters, the little kids drawing and making posters. Why doesn't that continue? It can be equal. It doesn't have. It doesn't mean the walls have to be filled with everything African American 365, but it should be a good mix.
It should
Hmm.
be American,
It should be a right. It should be a, and not just African American,
not African
Hispanic,
American. I
um,
consider ourselves as
Caucasian,
Black
Black,
Americans
Hispanic,
and
everything.
Caucasians and Americans. You know what I'm saying?
Everything. It should be a good mix, but they know that it's not a good mix, and that's why they allow the kids to line it up in February. Well, hey, they gave them February, let them take that. And see, even now, believe me, y'all, by law, they're trying to make law to take it back. So we have got to continue.
Yeah, we do.
That was the only thing I was saying. I know I say it's crazy stuff and it don't sound like it don't make sense. But if we sit back and think about it, we got to actually teach each other like far as what everybody part of their history is. Like you will want to know how Mackie grew up. You will want to know how Henry grew up. How because all of it can still combine to one thing that it's gonna still be where it is right now today. It just my growing up, I grew up in 76. So my 76, growing up in 76 is different from everybody else's history. Because my history didn't start when they just went to telling us every month. I know every month when I was in school, they brought that damn TV in there. And it got at first it was like a black movie. After education kicked in, oh, these suckers trying to be funny. And all my teachers were white. This was my history. So when I learned history this month, my history was to tell me every time that this black dude had to go, he threw the black dudes off the train, and or they came through crosses and hats and all these turbans, whatever they call them, the outfits they got on them sheets and stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's my history. Burning crosses in front of the house. That's the history I know.
And that's all a part of it. I mean, that's
It's
all a
part,
part.
yeah. I mean,
It's a
when I was
part, it's
in
all
high
a part of it.
yeah, when I was in high school, we learned about the segregation and stuff throughout the whole school year. It was just part of our regular social studies and regular American history classes, and then during Black History Month is when we learned about all the different innovations that Black people did, just the first person that did this. So that's when we started learning about this, and the fastest woman in America. We learned about those type of things during Black history, but all of the different struggles we learned throughout the year, right, as it came in that point in history, for our education. But that's kind of how we did it. I don't think that it's one of those things that we will see on the same level that you saw back in the day, because newer generations are not as affected. As the generations increase, they are not as affected as our older generations. So it is important to continue to talk about it and let them know the reason why. That's what I was having a conversation about earlier, is the fact that we tell people, right, hey, you need to know this, you need to listen to this, read this. But tell people why it's important to know and educate themselves. I mean,
Because
respect
Exactly.
people enough.
in our
Yeah.
Exactly.
middle
Yeah.
school,
Because
growing
because
up in
if
our
you
middle
don't,
school, right? Our middle school was a high school, middle school type situation, right? If y'all can look this up, look up Edison Middle, Edison Senior, and Miami Edison Senior, and they'll tell you that it was an all white school. You know what I'm saying? We had to
Mhm.
migrate from a part of town called Overtown, and you know how they said, they start spreading people black. You know how they start used to black folks start spreading out and stuff. You feel me? So this little spot right here, that what I'm talking about, we might black folks start buying houses over there and all this and all that. Like I said, we didn't see in Miami, we didn't grow up with the nigger racism. You feel me? I mean the N-word racism. We didn't grow up with that. We didn't know about that. We just knew it was a segregation. We knew it was white and black. You feel me? This is how we grew up. So when we migrated over there to the city part of Miami, it was more like just white people in the school. I tell you not, honest to God, when they made Black History Month, it was like the best month because we could beat up the people. But we at first we just sit there, everybody watched the movie as kids, growing up, growing up. By the time we got to high school, we realized what this movie is. They keep showing us, These movies they keep showing us every month. I mean, this 1 month they keep showing this junk. This is what they were teaching with the Caucasians in the class with us. And then you know that teaching that education. That's what I was saying. I didn't want nobody to feel no offended about that. What I'm saying, y'all got educated by books. I got educated by sight. You feel me? And that's what I mean. The difference in education. That's all I meant. We sat there and everybody in that class started realizing what these movies about. You know who we turned to and looked at evil. And after
Each
that,
other.
every time that this month come up, this is why this month was so special to us, because the white kids wasn't in school that month. And that's only reality. That's what I grew up
See,
in.
that's why sometimes I think is regional or is location, because that was never the situation. And I've lived in Boston, the most racist northern city I know. I've heard Cleveland, Ohio is pretty neck and neck with it, but from Boston down to Georgia to Bama, the kids there, they sat, the white kids, they watched. Did some of them probably not want to? True. But a few of the black kids didn't want to because you had to open their eyes up to teach them, to let them know. And if you had a great teacher and they had good family support, then they knew. My great great grandmother lived until I was 15. So I had a good support and I had good knowledge through my family.
Mm.
So that being said, most of the white kids then, they wanted to know. They went home and they asked their parents. And I think that is part of the reason why we are here today where we are, where they're so against the critical race theory thing, because their kids do ask them questions too. Some of them, they've already trained up like a little Kyle Rittenhouse, not to want to know, don't give a care. You saw what he did. But some of them do want to ask questions. Some of them have fought with me the hardest when trying to get things in certain cities done in a fair and equal way, in a fair and equal and just society.
Cause
So
when I grew up, I didn't know, like honestly, I didn't know nothing about no KKK, none of this. And this in Miami. I grew up and born and raised in Miami. I didn't know nothing about the KKK. You know who used to tell us the stories? My grandmama, my granddaddy. That's who used to tell it from when them coming from Nevada. They coming from, you know what I'm saying? They come from Nevada. My daddy coming from Alabama. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not getting the history. It's not matching up on what they telling us in this history book. You feel me? That we will learn. That they were teaching us. You get what I'm saying? Every month. They only bring this book out once a month. And when they brought it out, it was all bad. Once we realized and took the education in on what they writing about as we are as Americans, I ain't talking about these so-called Africans and all. I'm talking about Black Americans, because our history go farther back than this African American label they gave us. Because at one time we wasn't called nothing but Negroes or the black, not a nigga. It wasn't a nigga. It was a Negroes. When they said nigger, you knew what time it was. You knew what time it was. But if they called you a Negro, that sounds like just what you were. As a black person, a Black American. I didn't know about no. I learned about Ku Klux Klan from my grandparents, my mama. That's who I learned about. They wasn't in Dade County. They wasn't in Miami. To us, white people, equal people, Americans. And do we learn the difference when Haitians migrated and Mexicans and Cubans? Well, first it was Cubans. That's how we learned the difference in people, because we was all Americans. We just knew we didn't go to the white side and the white side didn't come to the black side. It wasn't no split. That's just it.
so you guys were you mixed, you were integrated
And we
always.
didn't, but we didn't know it. Cause this how we were living until we started moving to these so-called white neighborhoods, and we started moving in. There still wasn't no N words and none of that. It wasn't none of that. It wasn't no burning, no cross, no nothing. It just these kids stayed on one side of the street. We stayed on one side of the street. Then
But
we
I
started
don't
going to school together. When we started going to school together, that's when this Black History Month thing happened. And when
I
it
don't
happened, it was all right at first because it was like you telling the story. They telling what's going on. You feel me? But then they
okay,
start
let me
shooting.
let me say this. I don't think the burning of the cross has been, as far as any of us on this panel, and probably most of us in the comment section, it hadn't been a regular thing since, you know what I'm saying? So I can understand you not maybe knowing anyone who experienced that. But
No, I
like,
know people. No, I know my mama them. They when they came from Mississippi, this is what they went through. I didn't go through that. That's what I'm saying.
but
What?
they taught you, so you know, right?
No, they gave me history. Yeah, they
But
taught.
I'm saying that if they
Yeah, they
gave you
taught.
history, then they taught you.
Yeah, they
They
taught.
taught you.
Yeah.
So we have to continue to teach, because this right here is just like the golden rule. It never fails you. If you forget history or you let it go, it will repeat itself. We are in a situation right now where it has started to repeat itself.
Or do you believe, VT, that like how y'all say that white or I'm saying, listen to what I'm saying. I'm not making this a white and black, but it is a white. It's our history. You what I'm asking is that and now y'all I don't forgot what I was gonna ask you. Say what you just said again.
It's just kind of like the golden rule. You know, there are always certain, it's not just one golden rule. Like you treat others how you want to be treated. But when it
Yeah.
comes to racism in history, in our history and American history, if you don't remember, if you're not taught, if it's not carried on, it will repeat itself, good
Oh
and bad.
yeah, that's what I was going back to. This is why I say either we have a Caucasian American month, or we need black folks need to understand that if their history don't stop for no time in the year, our history do not stop no time of the year.
But at no point do we need a Caucasian American month, period. At
That's
no
what
point,
that's the
listen,
whole thing I'm saying. We don't need that because we know the history of America. So if we're gonna take Black History Month as a holiday, let's take it as a holiday and just get fresh and just barbecued and just, you know what I'm saying? And just not talk about our day-to-day life no more. Let's forget about the Black History Month. I mean year. Let's hold that to the side and just enjoy on Black History Month. Cause that's what this should be for. Just for enjoyment and stuff like that. Cause and have a whole month of enjoyment.
no.
Cause
That's.
we
I'm
gonna cause
sorry.
I
I'm sorry. That's not what it's supposed to be for. To me, it's still meant to
uh,
recognize what was not recognized. It should
uh,
continue whether you celebrate or not. It's just like Juneteenth. You can celebrate. I don't mind the celebrations,
yeah.
but those are times, like I said, MLK Day, February, Juneteenth. We can celebrate all day long. And then I don't even care about celebration because we party too much sometimes anyway. Teach, teach, teach. Open eyes. Hell, go on field trips and open eyes. Let your children know, because we're getting to a point where the schools, that's what they want. And it's fine. We are a part of American history, but we're not being displayed that way 365 days a year. We
Cause
just
it's
don't
for
get
one
that.
month.
We do it, they do it in a month's time. And like I said, I don't even know how good they are or how up to par they are doing it as far as in schools now. But we ourselves, like Mackie said, we need to stick together to make sure that through, just like if you want to party, okay, like you said, celebrate. Okay, we say celebration. Guess what? If every area, if we just say, okay, we're gonna have a celebration, we're gonna have a party Friday. But leading up to that party, you have to come to class for 3 hours, Monday through Friday, each day this month. You know how
Uh,
many people show up in that class? Because it's like he said, we don't stick together. We need to make sure we emphasize the importance of it. We need to make sure that they get there. If you say it's going to be a blue card or a white card there and it's free, everybody's going to come. And then they're going to want to go to the party at the end of the week. But if you just want to say, let's teach Black history, so we can't really make people do anything, but we can know that we put it out there. We're still putting it out there. We're telling our children. We're making sure that they tell their friends whether they want to hear it or not. It's just like a car commercial. If you hear it enough times, you find yourself somewhere humming it sometimes. So you just it shouldn't be just about celebrations. No, because things get
no,
lost.
no, I was just using that as just as a figure of speech. Like I'm not saying that for real. I'm just saying it should be just like a Christmas. You listen to what I'm saying. It should be like a Christmas then, because if this only time we gonna feel like we could speak our voice when another American could speak their voice 365 days. We should be able to speak our voice 365 days. That's what I'm saying.
We can.
That's what I'm saying. So if this is what I'm saying, Black History Month is cool. But let's do that every month that comes up after this and after that, let's keep it going. Let's keep the
Okay,
post
that's
up.
what I think I get what you're saying. Sometimes
Let's
like you
keep
said,
the
it
hair
sounds a little
talking.
like you're going the other way with it, but I kind of get what you're saying. You're basically bottom line is you just want to continue to keep the knowledge going.
Yeah, let's keep the Black History instead of making it a Black History Month. Let's make it a Black History Year, and let's see and then let's enjoy ourselves all the time. Let's praise ourselves all the time. Let's educate ourselves all the time, just like they do, because they
I
keeping
mean,
on their history.
as people, we can do that, but I still want, as a country, us to keep this February and this fine by the minute be a designated time to me. Because as people, we can do that. As people, we can do that more than I mean, in our actions, in our the way we treat each other.
So we need to
We
accept
can
we
do that.
Americans as a whole. We need to be America as a whole, because we can't get deported to Haiti or nowhere. This is the only place we got. So why we not just proud of the whole education all the way through the history of all the way through, and then just and we could look at ourselves the same way these Caucasians look at themselves, because their history go on 365 days. I want to be proud about me every day. I want my kids to be proud about them every day.
But that goes back to say, like I
As an
said,
American, not just a black person, as an American.
like I said from the beginning, you have to start it within yourself. So therefore, in order for it to continue, like I said, what would you do after the 28 days is over? What would you do to continue to make it go?
That's what I've been saying all the way. I'm gonna always be black.
Okay.
I'm always saying out black history. All I'm always gonna stand on black history. All every day, any day, every day. That's the change we need to make. That we stand on this every day. We talk about the same shit every day. Cause they
Every
talk
day
about
we
desert
talk
every
about. You're
day.
right about that.
They talk about desert every day. Y'all just said it, 365 days. Why we ain't got 365 days to beat Black History Year? Just like they
You
got
do. You
Caucasian
do. You
American
do
Year.
got 300. You do got 365 days of the year. You just have to continue to do with the 365 days of the year.
That's what
And
I,
with that
that's
being
all I'm
said,
saying.
for these next 365 days of the year, Family Mac is gonna make y'all here.
And and that'll make me feel better that black folks really feel good about themselves, because they're gonna tell their history every day. Every day. The news tell it.
Yeah, you're right about
And,
that.
and,
So
and
with
it,
that being
the news
said,
will
y'all,
always be good.
I don't mean to cut you off, but we are past our time being, you know. And with that being said, Yogi, what did you learn today? We're gonna start out with you because you is to my left. What did you learn about today's history?
I know the same shit I know in all 45 years.
All right. What about you, VT?
But as far as the panel, I've learned that sometimes we can't really focus on what everybody else does, because we just have to make sure we do it. Because like Yogi wants us all to do it. So the best way to make sure that we all do it is just focus on us doing it and it being seen and being known that we do it.
Right
Like your
about that.
household,
What
not even
about
us
you,
as a
Tennessee
whole, your
Michelle?
household, you, because you really can't control if everybody else is going to do it or not. And that goes back into, like Mackie said, our whole race, the whole issue of race in general, us sticking together, us standing with the things we decide to do and carrying through with them.
Yeah. What about you, Tennessee Michelle? Tennessee Michelle, turn your mic on. Your mic off. She might have stepped away from the computer. Well, with that being said, y'all, I really appreciate everybody coming through to learn a little bit of
Oh,
history of this Black
thank you
history.
for
Oh,
having
there go there
me.
she go.
Yes, she is.
But yes, y'all. I'm sorry. I was getting ready to jump down anyway. I've gotten to one of my sites. I gotta go. But thank you for having me. This has been a very insightful and educational panel. I appreciate it. I appreciate everybody's thoughts. Tennessee Michelle out.
Yeah.
Already, I appreciate you, Tenny Michelle. I appreciate everybody that came on the panel, even including Henny. Oh, applehead ass. With that being said, y'all know how I end my life. Always and forever. Stay gone.